I like how you immediately say, I can be a person, and then you go, this is not the sound set I wanted. You go straight into the robot. That was
I can't.
choice that you
Cylon.
made. There we go. This is the one we want.
Is that how they figure
Hi,
out who's the-
everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome. You're here
Dance
watching
contest.
Geek Space TV, or Scarf Space TV, as we are today. And I was like, I have a box of scarves, and we all went, ooh, do you now? They're on us. So hello, welcome. It's wonderful to see you all here. If you are new and joining us, well, we are Geek Space TV, a nonprofit broadcasting studio based out of Seattle, and we are delighted to present another episode tonight of Worlds Beyond, our recursion, hopping, dimension traveling, not technically space, but like exploration show. It's sort of space. It's weird.
Kind of space.
It's a
It's
little
across space and
strange. Seems that we're playing using the rule set cipher system from Monty Cook Games, specifically their setting called The Strange. So thank you. Hello and welcome. Come on in. Come on in. I felt like I had some announcements. I do have some announcements.
You don't feel like it. It's true.
It's true. I was like, what am I doing? How do I play this game? How do we do the things? We're Geek Space TV. We have another show coming up this weekend. Our schedule looks much the same as it normally does. On Saturday, we will have an episode of Night Witches, which will be at 3 p.m. Pacific time on this channel, so you should come and watch it. Also this weekend, if you happen to be in Seattle, is Emerald City Comic Con, so many of us might be there. Feel free to get in contact with us and let us know if you too will also be there. That was the announcement. I was like, I knew there was a thing that was different from normal. Cipher System. Also, games in Cipher System are things like Numenera. If you haven't played it, it's another version using a similar core rule set, and there is currently a Kickstarter that Monty Cook Games are running for a bunch of new Cipher System Numenera content, so there's going to be a link in chat. You should go check that out. Consider supporting it if you particularly like this type of content, or if you like this system, setting, and all of that goodness. That was the thing. There it is. It's in there.
Links.
It's in the chat. All right. That was the other thing I needed to announce in Emerald City, and then we're playing Worlds Beyond. If you would like to support us here at Geek Space TV, there's a whole bunch of different ways you can do that. You can support us through directly donating. Tonight, we don't have a current specific goal because we are funded for the current season, but all of the money that you donate during the show tonight will be going towards our next season of shows, paying our rent, paying our cast, maintaining this space and all of those good things. So if you do donate, I will be reading out your messages as they, not as they come through, but when they, at the break and then again at the end of the episode. And I will particularly enjoy each and every one of them. You can also support us regularly over on Patreon with a regular monthly amount. And if you are unable to support us financially, well, you're already supporting us because you're here. You're watching our show, and that's super freaking awesome. So you can support us similarly by sharing this show with other people over on various social medias, with your friends and family. Put them in a chair, make them watch this. Have them suffer through the feelings with you and all of us, because there will be emotions tonight. And I can't promise they'll be good ones. Sorry, Claudia.
What do you mean? Everything's fine.
You were like, here's the most important person to my character, and I'm like, smash!
Here's the most important person to my character.
Boom.
Ruin them.
But I'm your best friend.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
Spoilers. Stay tuned. There's more coming up next after this commercial break.
Bros.
Bros.
Bros. I hope we get something from Bros tonight.
Bros. It
With
smells.
that, let's go ahead and introduce who our wonderful, delightful cast is/are with their pronouns, their character, their names, their characters' names, their characters' pronouns. Who would like to start? Anyone?
I'll do it.
With our broiest bro.
Hi, bro. What's up, bros? Hey, anywho, my name is Bonsai Baby. You can find me here, Twitch, Twitter, all that stuff. I play Delphink, who is a skeptical paradox who has the Midas healing touch. I was going to say Midas touch, but that's not right.
You work miracles now.
I work miracles.
Yeah, Midas touch would be the
goal.
opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different kind of miracle, but it's
a
maybe-
nice song, though. I'm a she, Dale's a he, and don't ask questions.
Get some answers.
Go ahead, bro.
Hi, broski, bro dog. Big dog, bro dog.
What hath I wrought?
My name's Jackie Dash. Jakidash. And I'm.
You should get that checked out.
Oh no.
Oh, wait.
Did you hear that too?
I
Oh no.
Wait, what's
Are you practicing your mental abilities again?
As you should, every day.
Hey.
Just enough. My personal pronouns are she, her, and I'm playing in the Pines when the sky was night. I took a breath. Who is also known as Pine Knight. He is a graceful vector who, in this recursion, slays dragons.
Sorry.
No feelings are happening whatsoever. Everything is going well. Pine has found the person that he's looking for, and it is exactly as anticipated, and there's nothing bad that's happening. Why are we in a court? Going to you, bro.
Hey, it's your boy, What is Kiss, aka Nathan Kiss, aka Scuba Pudding Jr., aka Black Barack Obama, aka Skirt, aka Oswald Dukes. I'm a lucky spinner, and that in this recursion is channeling some Sinfire. My pronouns are he, him, so are my characters.
This boy is on fire.
Hello! I'm Shell Game. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter, and now that I've reactivated Instagram on my phone, also Instagram.
What?
I know. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing any notifications.
It's okay. Instagram was broken today. So.
It's been, yeah.
Oh.
Has it?
Well, in that case, that's why I was on Instagram for a little while.
Yeah, just today.
Oh.
Just today.
You tried so hard.
Anyway.
It's like you tried to dodge by walking directly into the bucket.
You know, sometimes I thought you were going to say bullets.
Buckets at her.
No, but like buckets on the ground. You're like, I'll move away. And then
Wouldn't
you
that be
turn.
like a race?
You know that old saying? Oh, I almost walked into the bucket.
Yeah, I'm so familiar with that saying.
I love that saying.
If your friends walked into a bucket with you,
Depends what's inside the bucket.
for more friends.
Oh no!
Wait, then I want the bucket.
Who
thrown.
are you? Why
Hi.
are you here?
I'm Shell Game. I walk into buckets, and I play a character whose pronouns are similar to my own, as in they are the same. We are both she, her. I play Anan Nisi, who is an appealing paradox who leads here, which means that I need to tell you about Cetus, who is an adorable little puppers with these cute little ears that are just like super pointy, and he looks menacing, but when he, like, you see him in person, you're like, oh, you look cute, you look cute, you look, mwah. That's how you do it.
Mush face.
Let's see this.
I actually don't know anything about that. Didn't help me.
I don't understand why you didn't understand that.
Does he have
It's
little
all the
paws?
words.
Does he have little paws on his feet?
Oh, I guess, yeah, because he would be a little bit different in this. He looks like a great big, like,
Little Mastiff?
yeah, like
Or
sort of
direwolf?
pretty, somewhere between like a mastiff and a direwolf, but like
Her wolves are really big.
They
so-
are
yeah, I know. I
Horses
want him to
are
be
big.
really big. Oh, does he
He's
not,
not
get
like
to be really
6
big?
foot from nose to
Like a
tail.
horse.
He's only
not?
5.5.
What if I roll real good?
No!
Oh.
He's a dog.
Yeah, you can have a really big dog.
No, it's a wolf.
Hey, and sometimes
what
you
are
can't. Sometimes you just gotta bite
he
the
a
bucket.
Wait, what are those? Oh my god.
Is it an Alaskan Malamute?
No, what are the? There's like Irish hounds or something like that that are actually pretty
Irish
big.
wolfhounds?
Irish
Yeah.
wolfhounds.
Okay, so
The
he's about that
scraggly.
size. It's like what, 4 feet up or something like that. I don't know. He's like table height.
That's like a.
It's a big dog.
That's Irish wolfhound.
Wait,
And
that's
I am your GM, Random Tuesday. My pronouns are she, her, and it is delightful to be here this evening. Let's put this train on some sort of track. Remind ourselves what happened last time on Worlds Beyond. They've been through a lot. These characters, these players. They've rescued people. They've nearly lost people. It's been quite the wild ride and adventure. But our dearest Pine Knight has been on a quest since he appeared on Earth. Separated from one of the most important people, perhaps the most important person to him in his life, the Sage, from his native recursion of Zanzut. And he's been on a quest to find this person, but Anand learned some information at one point about this individual in that they are a charlatan, which is the nice way of putting a lying SOB. And Anand found this out, broke the news to Pine, who took it with a healthy side of denial.
I was gonna say like
Multiple
a chip.
times. How many times? I tried to break this news to you.
Denial's important. It's the first
Denial.
step.
Like
It
a
is.
champ is how I was gonna put it, but continue.
Denying champ. But Anand was not dissuaded by this. She put in a word to Riley Howell, the field operative lead over at the estate, who found out where this Rowan Wise, aka the Sage, was actually currently located. He was, in fact, had been at one point an agent for the estate, and then had disappeared. Although Riley was pretty sure that it was an intentional disappearance. So they tracked down Rowan Wise in this location called a Paradiso, the swanky vacation recursion.
Despacito plays
It's-
24/7.
It's basically like a super awesome place to go, really relaxing, kind of everything you want is there, but everybody only has a limited PTO amount of time, and so you'll get booted out of the recursion. So they went to Paradiso. They encountered Rowan. They tried to confront him. Pine was not so cool with a lot of what they were saying because Rowan was like, oh no, it was all intentional. I didn't mean to lose you. I am so sorry. It is so good to find you again.
This is
person who is most dear to me
Pine.
in the world. Oh, that's your name.
Oh.
This is why we should have stabbed him before we saw him.
But it's okay. Right as I believe Jade says, you never experience any consequences for your action, a arrow was fired, and they encountered the huntsman, who wanted to capture Rowan Wise in order to be taken back to Astoria for his trial. Might be the nice way of putting sentencing.
Might as well be Astoria, because it sucks.
Anyway, a fight broke out, and Pine decided to defend the sage. And Pine and Dale had a beautiful moment of friendship, and the huntsman captured Rowan with the assistance of the rest of the group, and has since brought them all with him and Rowan Wise, perhaps to be witnesses, perhaps just sort of extra guard, to the kingdom of Astoria. So we found our players arrived in the throne room of the king and queen of Astoria. And Jade and the king of Astoria had a little moment. They made very intense eye contact with each other. Someone seemed to recognize someone else, and then Jade very quickly left the throne room, and we don't know where she is.
Like you do.
yeah,
You
like-
run into somebody that you've had
Relations
A connection.
with. A connection.
She
Wait,
had
Is that
a
what people are supposed to
meeting.
do?
A meeting with them.
yeah, she had to go for it. She had
A
a
memo.
meeting.
A memo.
I just like, oh, this is awkward.
We saw each other's butts.
Wait, is that what you're supposed to do?
I think that's what you're supposed to say. That's a form
Oh,
of greeting.
you're supposed to look at each other. Never
We saw each other's butts. That's what it's like, chat, when someone says that.
Yeah, James saw the
always.
king and just went smoke bomb and disappeared. So she skedaddled out of the room, and the king he kind of sat back very quietly and made this awkward face as the queen looked at him meaningfully. And it was an uncomfortable moment, but don't worry, there was still Rowan to deal with. So we will kind of cut back to the throne room. We see in front of us this large chamber, this very tall room with pillars and Gothic architecture. I don't think this room would have, maybe there's some stained glass windows on it towards one end, beautifully decorated, a lavish carpet sort of leading up to these two thrones that we see on this raised dais set of steps up to a platform that has a fancy name that I think is Dias or Dias.
You say Dias, I say Dias.
Cool.
Okay.
And then we'll call the whole thing off.
Buenos
and
dias.
seated in sort of beautiful royal regalia, very clearly crowns placed upon their head. Simple but elegant crowns, like the sort of like practical, something that you could wear every day to signify your status, as opposed to the more like jewel encrusted kind, sort of gold circlets. Velvet robes, everything's kind of vaguely medieval styled. If you were actually a historical costuming nerd, you would cry inside. But if you're not, you just think it's really pretty. We see the king, his brown skin, dark hair. The queen, dark hair is sort of pulled into a braid at her side, and she's looking very intently at Rowan with this kind of just sheer controlled rage on her face. Like, she is used to not showing what she's feeling, but you can kind of hear that anger in her words as she speaks. And she thanks the huntsman. Thank you for bringing Rowan Wise here. And who are these people? She sort of gestures at each of you.
We're a band of travelers who aided your huntsman. I myself am Anon, and
I'm known as the wizard.
So what do we see when we look at each of you? Like, how do you look in this recursion? As we see Anon, what does she look like?
Anon is... she looks very much like if you took a whole bunch of styles from fantasy and sort of smushed them together.
Okay.
But
She's
it's
just
like...
stepped out of Lord of the Rings?
She stepped out of Lord of the Rings. Very much that. Like, sort of like the just elegant, simple jewelry, and all of it seems to be connected into like very sheer scarves that sort of wrap around, and you're never quite sure where the scarves end and where clothing maybe begins.
Oz in this fantasy world is wearing what appears to be from a distance. It looks like a globe that's been spread across his entire body.
It's just like elaborately embroidered clothing.
Kind of, but it's on like very like movable silk.
They're all good.
And like a very Oz was planning on this being a party at a vacation spot. So when he translated through this one, he was still in like party mode. So he's like wearing like very light silk and linen, sort of like hey.
Okay,
there's
for a
gonna be,
minute
like,
I thought you were going
cool-
like court jester, but no, okay.
Oh no
So you're
no.
like Hugh Hefner in fantasy mode.
Kind of, but
Okay.
less problematic and creepy and dead. But yeah, just kind of like I came here to relax. These are more acceptable than pajamas, but twice as comfy as pajamas.
I want those.
Pine looks like he belongs with a bunch of other people dressed very similarly in armor. He's got like boots that go past his knees with like armor pads on his like side thighs. So it like, what is it called when you got sleeves for your pants sleeves, and then it goes to the top, and then there's a little belt holding it all together. So like your lower pants stick out. And so,
Hose?
no, cowboys wear them.
Oh,
So like,
Because hose were just sleeves that you wore on a garter. That's what they were. But
Gun?
so
I want you to describe more things.
so he has like leather like
Like I said,
gauntlet-side
if you were
chaps.
a historical costuming nerd, you would cry. But to everyone else, it just looks pretty.
He's got the leather armor that has little middle rings built in it. I think it's like called like Brigine.
Studded
Yeah.
leather armor. Or
It's mostly for lightness, and because you can't really wear plates when you're hunting dragons. Full gloves that have dumb pointy ends on them because fantasy. And then he has his red cape on one side that has the owl with one eye open. Fancifully embroidered. It looks like it's been a little bit burned at the edges. And his hair is long and braided, like always.
Brigandine.
Oh, wow. Look at you guys are always so fancy whenever we go to these.
And so I like to mention, right, this is the camera, and it's sort of, you're going along here, you're tracking each of them as the queen's looking at them.
I'm usually the tallest, but I actually kneel down.
You
And, like,
kneel down,
watch.
and then we just stay at the same eye level,
Yeah.
and we see Dale. Like, we go, Jude?
Yes, I am a very scraggly looking half elf, or not halfling, halfling. Sorry, halfling, not half elf.
Oh.
Yes, I'm a little standing at a very tall 2 feet. Thank you very much. Very tall, 2 feet.
Very tall.
Yes. I look kind of like the Trolls doll that got shocked by lightning. So, and it's a little scraggly,
Hair
little
sticking up, singed ends.
singed ends kind of thing, and has my little goggles and stuff. But yes, I'm the wizard, of course. That's how I'm known.
Anon and the wizard, and
Oswald. Dukes. Not a duke, but surname.
Duke.
Dukes.
Oswald Dukes?
Oswald Dukes.
Duke Oswald.
Fair enough, I tried.
I am a sworn knight of the Orator of the Owl. Sorry, I have to use all the words. From Trenog, the castle within the woods. My full title is In the Pines, when the sky was night, I took a breath. I am the knight that is sworn to protect the sage.
Welcome to the kingdom of Astoria. I am Queen Sayana. This is my husband, who's like very clearly like still having a moment. Yes, I am King Dante of Astoria.
It is so very nice to meet both of you.
You're welcome here. And he's like very clearly looking out the door like, where did Jade go? Yes, dear. So what brings you here? The huntsman he has brought you.
Our pine here.
I have sworn allegiance to the sage, and I believe that, if I may be
Who is
bold,
the sage?
the one you brought with you.
She just looks over at Rowan, who's like, you realize, like, he's doing this thing where he's been trying to kind of back away, and every so often the huntsman just, like, shoves him forward again, like, kind of caging him in. He's like,
Can Anon just put him in a bubble? When she sees him do that next.
yeah, if you
I'll roll against
yeah, you'll need to roll
Is it a
against him.
visible bubble?
I mean, he just floats up suddenly and then he can't. Our dear Pine here knows your Rowan Wise as his sage.
Yes, our former advisor.
I'm not shocked.
The sage is the chosen one in the land of Sanzut, and it is very critical that he returns with the key to bringing about the end of it. It is imperative that he is not harmed.
Bringing about the end of Zanzut. Well, that I can assure you he will be quite skilled at.
It would be... I am not familiar with your customs or your manner of taking into account one's actions and holding them accountable in the end. However, I suspect that we are aligned in our understanding of Wise. And I would like Pine to see all that he has done here.
Interesting. Is there anything? Did you want to do something else?
And Oz is just fidgeting because he's having a little internal dilemma.
Okay, interesting. Great, cool. Very well, huntsman, bring him forward. And the huntsman just kind of pushes. He's like, hey. I think, think of Rowan a little bit like he's that kind of, like the wisecracker. Like, he's like, hey, hands off. These are expensive robes.
Oh no, it's Bugsy 3D.
But he's like, hey, excuse me. And he very, very graciously bows to the queen. Like, he deeply bows, Your Majesty. And she sort of holds up a hand. She's like, I am uninterested in hearing it. You were brought here for sentencing. Your crimes are numerous and many. You have been convicted by myself, the Queen of Astoria, for plunging our kingdom into an endless war, for incredibly deceitful advising, for risking our kingdom for your own personal gain. And for that crime, you have been sentenced to beheading.
Excuse, if I, ma'am.
And Rowan is just like, yes.
Pine, or whatever you wish to call
I took
me.
a breath.
Yes, you are correct. Whatever words you wish to speak, I will listen, and I will. You have much knowledge, Queen. While in this kingdom, I bid that you have control as you are warranted, and you know much about this land, more than I probably ever will. I cannot allow this to occur.
You don't have a choice in the matter.
There must be some task we could accomplish, or something that can bear
Oh, this is
Oh,
me
yeah.
as a person.
something that can bear truce, so that whatever Rowan might have done is counteracted by some kind of action that we do. As a knight, I lay down my arms and my life for Rowan.
You can see that, like, the queen, she seems to be thinking about it. Oz, or what is Oz doing?
I was wondering if Oz was actually wondering if this could, if there's a way in this world for someone who is sentenced to death to have like a different sort of trial. Not looking for a trial by combat, but like some sort of
Do you want to give me some genre knowledge?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Ooh.
I didn't put any effort in that.
You did not.
But I got a 20! Pew, 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 pew! Ta, 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 ta.
I was like, why are you talking about effort? I can't see it from here. So with a natural 20, you're starting to kind of piece together, like it occurs to you, none of this lines up necessarily with any specific fairy tale or story that you've heard, but you're like, it's got that kind of vibe going on. Like she's referring to this person as the huntsman. You're like, oh, maybe not an evil queen, but definitely like queen-like vibes. Your best guess is actually really what Pine's talking about. Some sort of risky quest that could end with you dying or could end with you fixing whatever problem it was you
Oh,
caused.
one of those quests.
Is likely to be the sort of mitigating, like an alternative sentence to off with your head.
Cool.
And Rowan, he sort of like he kind of looks between you and sort of around the group, and he kind of bows very deeply again, and like you can tell like he's very good at this. Like he's very good at talking, like even for someone like Anon who's very good at lying, like you can see what he's doing. But he's maybe even better than Anon is. Like he's on the level of kind of what her parents might do
Like
when it
Lark.
comes to like when it comes to getting people to like what you're saying, he's very good at that. And he sort of looks at my queen. Perhaps what they're suggesting, I repair the trouble that I caused. It was truly, I promise you, not a selfish act that I undertook. I meant, and he's not just looking at the queen, he looks at Pine when he's saying
No,
this.
I
Like
was
like he looks at the queen and then he kind of looks at Pine. It's like, it was merely an error on my part, a misjudgment that I had never intended such horrible things to befall your kingdom. My disappearance was an unfortunate consequence. I will repair what I have broken, and if I do not, then you may have my head.
When you start spouting these, I'm gonna go ahead and read his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try it. 11?
Not enough.
Dang it. Oh well.
Yeah, it's like it like slips off. Like it's like it's like water sort of beading off of it. He's very slippery as you're sort of trying to pluck at his thoughts. And the queen kind of looks at each of you. She looks at Rowan like she's not buying it, but this is also a thing. Like he's saying the right things that Oz knows. Very well.
I would volunteer to attend him on his quest.
You didn't even know what I was going to ask.
No, I don't trust him.
Very well. You may embark upon your quest if you repair the trouble you have brought to the kingdom of Astoria. If you put right all the wrongs you have created, then I will spare you your head. It may remain attached to your body for the rest of your life. You will still be exiled from our kingdom, but you can return with this knight of yours. You will attend him, ensure he completes this quest, or dies trying.
Or dies trying.
As for the rest of you?
Yes. Maybe one moment, please. A recess in the. Can we all just?
The four of you may converse amongst yourself. Rowan will stay here.
What?
And like the group of you sort of whisper back and like scuttle back in the throne room.
All right. Let's go right here. What's going on? When we leave with him, are we actually doing the quest, or are we taking him back to Zanzud to be tried, or do we just take him back to the estate to be dealt with?
The queen has asked us for a favor. The gods have chosen this person to be crowned, and therefore we must do what they task.
This also might be a case where they chose the person's parent to be crowned, and they just happened to be birthed into that position. That doesn't necessarily mean they should be listened to. All I'm saying is that we have an option here just to take the person back to the estate. Easy peasy. This quest thing sounds like unnecessarily dangerous.
I'm just saying, how about this? If we run away, it's obvious these guys can hop different dimensions, so it's a matter of time before they find us again. And then they won't even listen to us.
Then we all might be in the same place that the sage is in.
Pine, if we were to take the sage back to the estate, yes, they might be able to hop recursions and find us, but the estate owes their due as well.
I mean, it's just one of those things where, like, if this person was able to get away from an entire kingdom, from multiple kingdoms, what it seems like, and then the way this guy's talking in here, I mean, like, this is one of those guys that when you have him, take him there. The longer you wait, we run the risk of him getting away again.
Agreed. Pine, I am hopeful that you will see who he truly is, but I am concerned that if you attend this mission, you will listen to more of his lies. I apologize for being so incredibly blunt.
I actually believe you spin words, and then this time you were forging a sentence that is a weapon. And I believe it is one you need. I disagree, but I do not sheath your sword. I do not feel right leaving. The sage is still... he is my sage. And if I leave this quest unfinished, it means that I have taken part in it. I have helped bring this world to rot when I've already left one on the brink. And I understand perhaps we'll feel different after we listen to the quest. And I also believe that you have the right to step away. I would not ask you to put to life someone who you've not bound yourself to.
I mean, of course.
I'm not leaving you alone with him.
I might not be bound to him, but like I said, I just don't like it. I've heard his thoughts. He left all of you, all three of you behind.
And more importantly, what's going on with Jade and the King? Did you see that?
That is a...
Did you see that?
I am very impressed
That
with
was
her
the
right
walk
now.
of quite of the pink cheeks, if you get my drift.
I is the walk of the pink cheeks.
Pink cheeks.
I didn't want to dodge that bucket. How can you dodge pink cheeks? Okay, anyway. I think Anand's just like,
Pink cheeks.
well, you know.
All right, so
I mean, to be fair, if she did perhaps ensnare him, or, you know, vice versa, or it was a mutual thing, it's very, I mean,
I
you
mean, there
did-
doesn't have to be ensnaring to have pink cheeks.
No, I'm saying that her sexual prowess must be quite large.
Inan blushes, and then she's like, all right.
Pink
are
cheeks.
we-
all right, Pine, I will follow your lead, my friend.
Have you come to a decision?
Yes. We will guard him on his quest.
Excellent. And the queen sort of snaps her finger, and you see from kind of behind the throne area, or like towards the bottom of the steps, someone you hadn't really noticed before. They're actually probably even smaller than Dale is currently, and they sort of flutter over. They've got these little pixie wings
Are
behind
they a
them.
meter tall?
They're maybe a meter tall, and they sort of flutter over to you. Very well. If you have agreed to undertake this quest, you must sign the contract. And they just unfurl this scroll in front of you and sort of produce this quill in their hand.
Sign something. Okay, let me see.
And the queen sort of looks at each of you. This is to ensure that you complete your mission. You guard the sage until either he dies attempting the quest, and you realize she is looking at you like you cannot kill him.
Oh, can I actually
Read the contract?
read the contract
Yes.
with skill?
And yeah, it's that you know, you must attempt to complete the quest. Either he returns to face his punishment, or he will solve the ills he has put wrong.
What are the ills? Like, there's no subcontract. I'm looking because
Or no, like, yeah.
And this little pixie is holding that
can I
and hands you
guess-
the contract. Yes. Would you like to read the contract? What do you have that would apply to this?
Not seen through lies, deception.
Yeah, it's probably actually more like a foot tall. Like it's a pixie. Like
Like
foot and
how
a
long
half.
is the contract?
The contract is rolled or unrolled.
Unrolled.
Unrolled, it's probably like 3 feet long.
Queen, do you bear in me any ill will?
No.
Wait, no.
I think I take the quill and then I do my signature, which is a
Owl.
no, actually, it is
Oh.
a pine tree
Ah.
and then a crescent.
You could have been signing your life away to them.
When you sign it, like you put there, when you finish the flourish. So Dale, you sign it before Dale's read it.
Yeah, I think he said read it and then took it.
As you sign it, like you feel like a wave of magic almost wash over you, like something. It's almost like there's a momentary weight, and then it's gone.
Oh.
But there was definitely something magical about it.
Read the contract.
Alright, so I will read See Through Lies and Deception. Does
I'll let you
help?
play that. Yeah.
And then, I can't do Strange Lore because that doesn't apply to this.
Nope.
I think Inan would also read.
You
as
can help.
well.
I will go ahead and
Okay,
put
cool. I'll help.
2 levels of effort into this because this is an intelligence, right?
Yep.
Aha!
Okay. So you can put 2 levels of effort in, and you get a +1 bonus from Anon helping you.
Yay! Do good.
Hey, Dale. I'm gonna encourage you, buddy. Really take a good look at this.
Why do I feel like you're talking to toddlers right now?
Oh no!
Is everybody like
No,
kneeling down?
Everybody's kneeling down while I'm trying to
Not
read
at
it.
all, champ. You're doing a great job. Sound it out. You can do it. I use an encouragement for this role. Sing it a step easier. Let's go, pal.
So it's 3 steps easier and add a 1.
just suddenly there's like an inner rage that's slowly building up and down. Like all small creatures, they build it up. Oh, 14. Sorry, almost
14.
20.
Okay. Yeah, you unfurl and you kind of read through, and it takes a minute, and like it's sort of awkwardly silent in there, and then you get to the bottom, and like Pine's already signed it. It's fairly clear. There doesn't seem to be any hidden clauses. The main thing that you get from this is that it is a magical contract. It will make it it'll make it harder for you to translate away until your quest is completed. And it will also make it harder for you to directly interfere with the sage's completion of the quest.
Wait, so I can't help?
No, to directly hinder
Oh,
the sage's
okay.
completion of the quest. You can help him, but if you try and hinder him, which would include killing him
Why do
or
you keep
harming
saying
him,
this like I would kill him?
then
Oh, she's saying it to you.
it's because I can see you dragging him out back and just straight up shooting him. But you realize, like, this,
I mean,
this
that is
contract will make it not impossible. From a mechanical perspective, it'll make it 3 steps harder.
As a magical
2 or 3
wizard,
steps
I
out.
asked for one clause to this for him to sign as well.
Oh, of course he's going to sign. The queen
Yes,
looks at you.
but
What
as
do you
a-
think we are? Contractless heathens?
No, of course not. But this only contracts us, but not him. I would say if he tries to actively leave our party, because as you know, he is very slippery.
Yes.
He'll start to feel pain and agony. I will give a drop of my blood to seal that contract into there.
He will have the same stipulations as all of our contracts. And he's like, you can see him like, be like, oh yeah. It's
But yeah,
like he
so I
kinda
just want
knows.
that added in the clause that if he tries to actively leave us without us giving him permission, he will.
The pixie goes, how about this? And like writes a sentence, and the sentence, and like with the quill, and it sort of magically folds it into the contract. It essentially adds that if he does try to leave, you are within your rights to take whatever means necessary to stop him.
Good.
I don't like. What did she write?
It stops your sage from running away again.
Which, if he is, as you say,
He
would
would
have
not.
no reason to do.
The rest of it, so it details the. I think with this, the contract specifies what it is that he has to complete. So
Yeah.
you read the sentence that the sage is required to put an end to the conflict between the kingdom of Astoria and the dragon Teoldris the Hungry.
Tealgris?
Hungry.
Teoldris.
There's-
Teoldre.
There's a war against a dragon? Did I read that? Did I hear that correctly?
I don't know how much you're reading out loud,
Yeah,
but that's what it says.
I'll mumble
That
out loud.
He
Yeah.
is required to put an end to the conflict between the kingdom and the
And the
dragon.
dragon. We have to talk to a dragon.
Or slay it.
How large are those here?
Quite.
Small? Large.
Quite large, probably. Quite large.
What sort of...
Do they have any magical abilities? They're a dragon. Well,
I have dragon lore in this world.
yeah.
I want to roll that. What is it? What is an intelligence check like?
Yeah, roll me your dragon lore. So you're all looking at this contract. It's let me summarize exactly what it says. It says the sage is required, or Rowan-Wise is required to put an end to the conflict between the dragon Teoldris, the Hungry, and the kingdom of Astoria. The contract, for those of you who sign it, will make it harder for you to prevent him from completing his quest if you attempt to hinder him in any way. And it will also essentially prevent you from leaving until either his quest is complete or he is dead.
If I sign a false name,
You don't know fairy magic. So you
knows?
could see, but you can try and figure out what would happen if you sign a false name. False name.
18.
18.
I think. What do I know of the tale of Tildris the Hungry?
Teodris the Hungry ravaged the lands of Astoria for hundreds of years. I think as you're saying this, like, we see, like, the minstrel, he comes out with his lute and he begins singing, the tale of Teodris the Hungry, the dragon who ravaged the land. His appetite was so monstrous, so enormous, that he ate whole villages in a single bite.
This must be large recursion.
Some of this may also be
So you can
Yeah.
stop him and
added onto until one day he was put into a long and deep sleep. And the kingdom of Astoria had hundreds of years of prosperity and growth until Teodris the Hungry woke again and began to ravage the lands. And is unsure why, but they are still at war to this very day.
Wait, no one knows why?
Why he woke again.
Oh.
Oh, well, he was.
Anon just looks at Rowan. Just like,
And that's the tale of Teodris the Hungry.
While the song is going on, I'll go ahead and talk to the
And then
about
he
other
disappears.
loopholes that Dale can think of.
That was not a very...
Okay.
Like, so we
oh,
can
yes.
go ahead.
Wasn't my
If
favorite
his
minstrel
way
show.
of stopping it causes harm to Astoria or us, we can stop it.
Oh, I like that. Yes.
And then
Yes. Okay.
I think of all of this. Trying to think what else. As long as we are helping him, he is not allowed to harm us.
We can try for that one. Yes,
Yes.
it'll make it harder for all of you. I mean, it's the same thing about hindering him and hindering you.
Yes.
That's a hindering clause.
Injury clause.
A hindering clause.
Hindary was a very rambunctious young child, and he had his claws created because he was a problem. It's a joke.
Because he can't, now he can still kind of run away. What if he slips from us and we can't?
can we recall him?
You have to trust.
But the contract! You have to think before signing these things.
I mean, I already did not, so why think this much harder?
The queen sort of looks at you as you... My dear wizard, if such a scenario should arise that you lose him and are unable to fill the duties and obligations of this contract, then, as always, the contract is rendered null and void. This is purely to ensure. It is merely a form of magic that is employed in our kingdom. It is litigation.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard for me to sign this already. Go ahead, you guys go first.
In good faith.
You feel the same sort of thing as you finish the like kind of final flourish on your name, like a something settles over you.
Anon is going to sign Anon Isin.
Okay. You try. I need you to make a roll.
Ooh.
Well, that was a 3.
You can't finish writing your name as the false name, and the pixie like comes all the way up to your face, and then you kind of feel it like right next to your ear. I wouldn't do that if I were you. And then kind of flutters back.
Anon will finish signing her actual name. But I think the second that she does, that's when Cetus appears.
Like you just like suddenly you just hear like a and you look over and like Cetus is just curled up on the floor and you're not really sure how long he's been there.
Oh. She'll like call him over and like.
The queen is like,
Ah.
very well. And the pixie produces a different contract for the sage to sign. And he kind of looks at the queen and he signs the flourish.
Anon looks at the pixie and she's like, just trying to like, what I want her to be able to tell is whether or not the pixie thinks that he signed a false name.
The pixie sort of looks at you like, takes his contract back. They seem happy with it.
Okay.
I'll sign it. There you go. Signed.
Thank you.
Poor unfortunate soul.
Ooh, and you lose your voice. You all feel that kind of magic settle over you, and then it's gone, and you feel yourselves again. Thank you. Now leave. I am tired of seeing this one. The rest of you, I look forward to seeing you again.
Bow appropriately
Duke.
deep.
Well, I can't.
Your Highness.
Kind of, I guess, shrug because I'm kind of low already.
Just
I think I bow low enough that like it's
Well-
respectable, but there is slight like I think Pine doesn't go as low as Pine can go. Like it's
Ooh.
respectful, but
That's-
it's like a slight amount of like
bad boy
thing.
Pine. Bad boy Pine. Pine's a rogue.
Before
Yeah.
we leave the throne room,
Full
as
90%,
we're, like I'm
95.
bowing to the queen and looking around, I'm gonna do eye for the strange.
Yeah.
To see what like shimmers. Basically, it doesn't say that I have to roll or anything.
No, I think you're just able to tell because it's not
Yeah.
really a thing you can hide.
Yeah.
There's some things I might say you would roll. It shows you whether or not they're from this recursion.
Yes.
And I think it shows you something else.
If
but-
if the creature has a spark.
okay, they have the spark. And anything else?
Let's see. Hold on. Let me. Creature, object, the objects as well that are not from this recursion.
Okay.
And then you wait. If you spend enough, if I spend concentrating on it, I can tell where it's from.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, off the bat, it tells you whether or not it's from this recursion, and then if it has the spark, and then if you spend time looking at it, you can find out,
where
you can
they're-
pinpoint what it's from.
Where
Cool.
it's last from. So not like its origin,
But where it's from.
Yeah.
I think you can figure out whether or not they're native to this recursion. That's the base thing, right?
See, no, I mean, you just figure out if they're not from this recursion originally.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Yes. Ba, ba, ba. You see a shimmer on creatures that are not native to the recursion,
Mm-hmm. Objects.
and around native creatures that possess the
Yeah.
spark. Non-negative targets to shiver. You see the form it originally pressed prior to translating to the current recursion. Cool.
Yep. Does anybody look shiny?
Us.
Well,
Cool. So when you use it to figure out what they look like, that's when you make the roll.
yeah.
So when you look around the room, all of you clearly look like you are not native to this recursion. The king and queen are native. They have the spark along with the huntsman.
Devante?
Dante.
Dante. Right. When I first heard the king say, I thought it was Devante. I was like, Devante? Like, okay, Devante.
He is a Devante Spark.
All right. So
Dante and Sayana, they have the spark, as does the sage, the group of you. They're all native to this recursion, so is the huntsman. The pixie doesn't look like they have the spark.
No. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Not everyone. I guess.
But it's fairy magic. She doesn't need the spark if she has fairy magic. So only the huntsman has. Okay, good to know.
Makes sense. Before we leave, though, I think Anon would say, no, she would pull aside one of the servants and say, the woman who left here in a hurry, find her and tell her what has happened here. Tell her to find us.
Yes, of course. They saunter away somewhere. Yeah, there's no sign of Jade as you leave the room. So you exit, and I think Rowan, he's coming with you, but he's like, he's not lagging. Like, he's being very intentional about staying with the group, but he's been pretty quiet. He's not really saying anything to anyone, and he's just sort of kind of following your lead in this moment. And the group of you exit the throne room, and you'll be led out by one of the servants. They'll direct you through this large sort of sprawling castle, out of the throne room, through some corridors, and eventually you'll be led out to the front of the castle, the palace. And you see essentially this kind of long, sort of winding, like, road that peters off into this village, this sort of town that you see at the end of this road. And they sort of deposit you there and then just kind of leave.
What time of day is it?
It's midday-ish, sometime early afternoon.
Okay. We don't have supplies, do we?
Nope.
Okay.
Should have asked for that. Should have asked for that. All right. Well then,
You
is
know-
there a? Can we like head? Is there like a town where we can like get
This
horses
town,
or
it
something
basically
like
goes down like a road from the castle, and then there's a town.
Well, we do have some money. So, off. And can we do the thing where we all walk in a straight line and just follow each other?
Like do 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 do.
Just like Final Fantasy
Yes.
VII.
Oh,
Yes.
oh.
Yes.
You just all sort of start walking. Your goal is to make it to the town.
Yeah. Whenever we talk to someone, it's just one of us, and we all split into several different
all
people
correct,
for a
yeah.
cutscene.
Fairy tales, not the Final Fantasy recursion.
I think Pine is gonna be very cognizant of where everyone is in the group. Paying always attention to be like the one person in between the sage, and everyone else in the group.
Oh, that's gonna be difficult. I was gonna have Anon ask him what he knows about the dragon.
Oh.
Sage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those like when they're walking, like, because I'm sensing that like Rowan wants to be at the back, so the sage would always be next. But if you're gonna talk to him, like, I'm not gonna stop. That seems silly. That seems counterproductive to what Pine trusts in both these two people. Like,
So I think what probably ends up happening, like Rowan, he seems surprisingly compliant right now. Like maybe surprising just because you assume he wouldn't be compliant. So he's kind of just chilling in the middle of the group. Like he'll let people walk in front of him or behind him wherever they decide they want to walk. He's just gonna let them do it. So if Pine kind of walks near him and then Anon sort of takes his place and Pine drops back, like Rowan won't say or really comment on anything, and he'll just kind of go with it.
I don't think Anon would start with any pleasantries. I think she would just say, "What do you know about the dragon?"
You heard the story.
I didn't ask for the story. We can play word games, but that's not going to get us anywhere.
Teodris, the hungry. Monstrous appetite. Do you know what he really likes to eat?
No.
Princesses.
Like, yeah, okay, it makes sense. That makes sense.
I don't. Wait.
why?
It's a common trope in stories: dragons steal princesses. Knight comes and saves dragon. Did you pretend to be a knight?
No. That would put myself at risk.
Oh,
You gave them a princess.
Constructed a contract agreement. Dragons are very wily, it turns out. More than me.
What was the agreement?
That I give him a princess and well, I may have agreed to give him an unlimited supply of princesses in exchange for him no longer eating anyone in the kingdom. King and Queen only had one princess.
oh, okay.
So they've had to steal other princesses.
They weren't super pleased when I brought them the news. Well, when Estelle disappeared.
Wait a second. Can you repeat that contract one more time?
Rowan stole a princess and fed her to a dragon.
I stole their princess. Their daughter.
But you said if you give them unlimited princesses, the dragon.
Would leave the kingdom of the story alone.
Pine. That's,
Physically impossible.
and also
Then I
you're
lied.
sacrificing children to a dragon.
It's not like they're real.
You're saying that to a series of people who are from recursion.
Yeah, but you have the spark.
Ooh. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make a roll. I was gonna do a touch attack right on Rowan's forehead. And just ignite those fingers. Just first it's just like it's just a touch as he's talking to him, but they start heating up. To the point they burn.
I need you to make a roll.
I'm gonna put 3 levels of effort into that.
Okay.
No, you signed a contract.
Just
not stopping him.
I mean, I'm just doing an intelligence damage. I'm not doing physical damage, intelligence damage. on him because that seems that's an 18.
As you
Of course, he takes more points of damage.
as you attack him, as you like put your hands on there. So describe what this looks like.
Just on the forehead when he says they're not real people, because when it comes to children and born in different recursions, they are real. Because I have 2 of them. So
I mean, Ozzy.
yeah, and it's just
Right,
like
isn't it?
not real, and then that's when it starts heating up.
And so I think, because I think you're maybe slightly far away from him, because, and then you just sort of like jab him with your finger.
Oh
like,
no, it's just like deliberate point, and then it starts heating up.
He sort of recoils back as you hit him,
And
your whole hand, like there's a moment where your entire hand and then your arm just sort of cramps and like twists back on itself, and you also take 4 points of damage.
All right, worth it. Now we know what it does. Might pull, or
Whatever damage you gave to him.
oh, interesting.
And he's like, I see you have some opinions on that statement.
Yeah, but now I see what that contract does.
Oh, I promise you it'll probably do worse than that.
Well, just don't do or say anything worse than we just said. Then we'll be fine.
I'm sorry I offended you.
Does he look like he's sorry?
Not
When
really.
people say that.
Actually, let's be clear. He doesn't say I'm sorry I offended you. He says, I'm sorry you were offended.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there we go.
He like
Is there still a mark there?
rubs it off. It hurts.
Still a mark.
If we are to defeat a dragon, we will have to work together.
Where is this dragon?
And Rowan, he just sort of points, and you see in the distance, like you were on the castle and you're kind of walking down this hill. You see in this distance this mountain, this sort of large mountain with these kind of clouds and smoke, and like it's classically dark and grim and a little bit terrifying. And he just points to it.
Oh.
And what does Oz do?
Was there still a mark on him?
Yeah, it'll probably be there for a minute
Can
or
I
two.
discern a scent of his?
Yes, because you got the 18. So as you touched him, oh, I mean, if we were going classic Seven Deadly Sins, like pride, what would be something? I mean, he gave a princess to a dragon.
I mean,
Like,
yeah, and also the fact that I can never lose track of him, too.
for how long does that last? Forever.
Forever.
And ever, ever, and ever, ever.
Let me bring up the time limit for you.
I think I'm.
Will there be a moment where you're kind of out of hearing distance from the sage?
No. I'm so sorry.
Never. No, well,
You will have to try harder if
Yeah.
you want to get him a little bit further away from Rowan.
Oh, I mean, so Rowan would probably hear. Never mind.
Right. So the Cern is not like a general of the Seven Deadly, but a significant baleful act that a creature within short range has committed during its life.
I got you.
If it is committed any. And for
Oh, actually, you know what? Do I have with this new power? Can I?
right. Oh yeah, and the tracking only lasts for a minute, so it's for a follow-up attack.
Cool.
But
That's what I thought. It's like, it's definitely not a forever thing.
oh, yes. A minute can last a lifetime.
No, I think in terms of
Like if there's anything else, because
it's hard to honestly like, and this is probably the thing that Oz gets, because there's a sense of cognitive dissonance, because he does not view himself as having done things that are wrong.
hey, it's a sociopath.
But to Oz, the list of things that he has done that are wrong are quite long. Like, he abandoned Zanzut. He lied to those people. He doesn't care. He convinced the king and queen that he had solved their problem here. He doesn't care.
Okay.
he doesn't mind that he gave the princess to the dragon. Like, he doesn't think that
So
was
he's
a
like-
bad thing.
he's
He
really
thinks
bad.
that was the
Sociopath.
correct answer to the problem.
Okay. So just okay. Oh, this is bad. Okay.
Like, so I think that is that weird cognitive dissonance is that Oz is like, that should be a sin. And he's like, no, it's not.
Okay. Okay.
Question. So, because of my new second procession, can I do mind talking?
Are you talking about your training in doing things? I don't
Yeah.
think so because your base ability doesn't allow for you to talk to other people. It only allows you to read other
read.
people's minds. Yeah.
I just remembered I have revised flesh, but I'm only going to use that on one person. I'm not gonna fix Rowan.
Right
the
now,
front,
that
but-
would only help if Oz is choosing to do a recovery roll.
What about the +2? Oh,
Because
never
it's a
mind.
plus
That's
2
right,
to
that's
recovery
right.
rolls.
Recovery. Yeah.
I thought there was.
If he was damaged on the track, then that would be fine.
That's right. I forgot the thing that it really is. It brings people back from the dead.
It's moving you on the damage track.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking of. Never mind.
To town.
You continue walking.
Yes.
Is there anyone else planning on doing anything else with Rowan who you've just heart? He's quite upset at you, but
Good.
he's not showing it.
I
Okay.
think.
Can I tell? Can
Yeah,
Pine
you
tell?
know, when,
Pine
you know when
tell.
the sage is mad.
I do.
He thinks what Oz did was very rude.
I think we're all just quietly walking.
Yeah. This very
Oh.
You know,
very.
I think I'll do something.
Mhm.
While we're walking, I'm gonna go ahead and try using not lie and deceit, but I know I can identify lies.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to go ahead and be like, oh, that contract. You know, try to weasel more information, you know. If only you did this, the contract would be better, but I can see the way of your... It's very practical thinking, you know. You have to be careful of the dragons.
So what are you trying to get out of him?
I'm trying to see if he's gloatful. He wants to brag about things.
You trying to get him to brag about what's in his contract?
No,
or-
no, the dragon's contract to see if I can finagle. And
what
do-
else he agreed to with the dragon Theodos?
Yes.
Theodos.
Teal
dress.
Yes, the dragon. So I could see if there's a way to null void that. So, I mean, if anything, if you want, I could also periodically, if it seems cool, to read his mind.
Yeah, go ahead and give me 2 rolls. Give me the first one for talking to him.
All right.
This isn't really. Yeah, this is maybe more like seeing through lies and deception.
Yeah, so I got
this is
seen
more
through.
of like a chatty chat, fun times. So give me a flat roll. It'll be 1 step easier for you, unless you want to put in any intellect effort, and then you'll give me a second roll for seeing if you glean anything from his mind.
I'll go ahead and do effort for both, like 2 levels of effort for both.
Cool. Okay. And so remember now, because your mind reading will be 1 step easier.
Yeah,
So both of them are 3 steps easier.
3
Cool.
steps. Wow. Unless I get a 1. Please natural.
Oh my
27.
goodness.
7. Ooh, that's scary.
Okay. With the first one, as you're sort of chatting to him, he opens up a little bit to you about like he's especially when you sort of ask him like some of the specific sort of litigation of the contract. He'll kind of open up to you a little bit about some of the specific details of it. You get the impression like contracts here, right? Like fairy law, fairy tales, like this is pretty common in this recursion. Like everyone kind of signs them and everyone kind of breaks them all the time. Which I think maybe to Dale gives him a little bit of hope of like, oh, we could get out of ours if we really need to. Like it's almost you end up just like making a new contract to
Yeah.
like break it's like a weird, they get into this like circular logic over it. Because fairies are everywhere and for some reason they're really into contract law. And you get a specific impression that Tealdris and
illegal.
specifically like dragons didn't really care. that the contract was more of a verbal agreement in this case because dragons and fairy magic don't really mix super well. And so he made a agreement with the dragon, and then he kind of opens up a little bit more. And why don't you give me the second roll for what you also get from his mind?
Whew, I'm scared now. So,
Legitimacy.
ooh, 15.
With a 15, yeah. So as you're, and so some of this comes from his words, but the thing you figure out, the thing you start piecing together, is that the issue, the dragon actually stopped for a little while. Like the dragon seemed to be kind of happy about getting a princess. And then maybe the dragons don't eat princesses, you're not really sure. That's not super clear. That like the dragon was pretty chill for a little while. And then it started attacking again. And you're not really sure why. And Rowan also isn't sure why. And this is probably like the piece, like that's when he pieced out. He was like, well, it didn't work. And that's when the king and queen got mad at him. And so he left. Because that's also when I found out that the agreement was that he gave the dragon their daughter.
They didn't know where their dragon was? That their daughter was? I'm sorry, like, Claudia, like, what?
Yeah, they sent her away to school.
Princess school.
Princess school.
Oh, yes, okay. Now
Yeah.
it all makes sense.
when you're
No,
royalty,
probably
you
because he lied to them as well. He was like, "Oh, I'm, this is."
I
this
sent
will
her
be
to
fine."
princess school.
Yeah, she's a princess school, and then they were like, "Okay, cool," and then they figured out like what was up. So like I think that piece for sure you get from his mind. Like he doesn't actually know. Like it worked for a while, and he's a little pissed off that it stopped working, and so then that's why he left. And he was trying to kind of figure out what the original magic was that put the dragon to sleep. And he came to the conclusion, and he actually talks about this one, that was just a story and it never actually happened, that as long as this recursion has existed, the dragon has been awake. And that part of their history, the story of their recursion, is that this dragon was asleep at one point, but it's never actually been asleep.
That's his theory.
And then he goes off and he starts talking more about how these recursions are barely old. Half the people who are in these recursions just popped into existence with the recursion. They're barely real. You notice he doesn't say that anymore. You pick that up from his thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so how much is said out loud? Because I feel like Anon would be in listening distance, but I wouldn't know the mind things. Unless Dale shares.
I think everything that's said out loud is everything that he says out loud is something that makes him sound good.
Okay. But
I mean-
so does he talk about how the dragon was never asleep?
Yeah.
Okay. And would he say that it stopped for a while?
No.
No.
Okay.
That part's in his head. The fact that the dragon was never asleep, he says that out loud. Like, because he found this out. Like, he's pretty, he went and he did the research and he learned that, like, the story of the dragon.
His big boy pants on.
I mean, he's all big boy pants. That's
So is your name really Rowan?
one of my names is really Rowan. One of my names is really the Sage. One of my names was really Chief Advisor to the King and Queen of Astoria.
When he's not looking, I'll go ahead and write a little note, and then we, try to sneakily pass it to Anon.
I'm gonna keep. I think Pine notices, but it's gonna just keep talking to them.
Well, but first, let's see. I have
Oh,
sneak.
they might be super sneaky. You're right.
I have sneak. So
You
let's
had super
see.
sneak.
I'm gonna
I
try.
have
right.
lots of flowing.
You know how this works, chat. Everyone close your eyes.
Close your eyes. Nobody look. I'm gonna just do a straight roll because
Okay.
maybe if he sees. Well, I'm trying not to make him sleep. What's the
For Rowan.
Yeah, for him not noticing.
You can roll.
But I mean, I need a level.
I don't think she's
My ear
gonna
keeps
tell you.
ringing.
I'm not going to tell you, but you can put in effort if you want.
Dang it! Now I'm paranoid. Okay, this would be a speed, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll put level of effort.
Okay.
How
Makes it
dare
a little
you.
easier.
How dare you?
Ooh, you know what? Oz feels a sneak coming along.
No,
He
you
feels
do not.
He feels a
Nope.
sneak coming on.
You cannot help with someone trying to be sneaky.
It's been a
And
long
not-
time since we had a good old sneak.
Nope.
If anyone were to sneak right now, I ain't
Wait,
care.
wait, wait.
Roll it.
Yeah, you have to look. What is it? Okay. What is it? Is it good? Is it
A
bad?
5.
You throw the note on the
Oh.
ground. Maybe not. You're about to pass it, and then you just drop it, and the sage, Rowan, he looks at it,
Dang it.
and then he keeps walking.
So,
Anon will pick it up.
Dang it. I should have just whispered. That'd been fine.
And she'll tuck it into her bra rather than like trying to have it read. Or her.
You know I never meant to lose you, Pine. You or Quake or Water took.
and why were you here? Why not
I was
keep
here before I
stepping?
came to Zanzut. They have been looking for me for a long time. This was the place I came to after Zanzut. Or before Zanzut.
Didn't you intentionally leave though?
Here?
No.
Zanzut.
Right.
With us. We were on a quest together.
Exactly.
No, but didn't you intentionally leave after that? You said that you no longer needed Pine. So,
I don't need Pine anymore. After this one last quest, I suppose. To make up the sins of my past.
And then we will go to Zanzut and we will repair. You will bring this. You will bring what magic there is needed to close. To keep it safe.
I can't keep Zanzut safe.
But that is why we were leaving together.
There was a time where I hoped I could. But I can't. No one can. Zanzut will be devoured. Like every recursion will eventually be devoured, and then Earth.
No.
And there will be nothing left.
What makes you so sure the great betrayer will succeed at this?
Doesn't matter whether or not the betrayer succeeds. There are. Why do you think we've never met aliens? People from other planets, other prime worlds like Earth.
Well, I just figure like Strange is a big place, you know.
It is a big place. You would think there'd be infinite people out there, other prime worlds.
Yeah, with infinite space in between.
So why haven't they gotten to us?
Because
They
there's
could-
infinite space in between,
They could translate to us.
and we can translate to them. Who's to say like which one's better than the other? I mean,
What do you think happened to those prime worlds?
I mean, I can only assume they're still out there.
They were eaten.
How can you prove that?
Because we know. The only reason Arden exists is because we nearly got the attention of hungry planetivores. We think this dragon is hungry. If they catch any whiff, if these recursions that surround us, they're the only thing that keep us safe. They are our sacrificial lambs.
Out of character. Did we know this before? That Earth was the last prime recursion, according to Rowan. 'Cause
When
this
is-
sounds
how
pretty
long-
new to me.
Would Dell have done this?
I'm
yeah,
very.
would
Yes.
Anon have known
Yes.
this? Because
I think Dale would be deep enough to have known that Earth. You all know the statement he's making about Arden is 100% true. Like Arden was,
Yeah.
was created in order to break Earth off from the Strange, and you know that it is dangerous for Earth to be directly connected to the Strange because planetivores will come.
That's why it can go
You-
into the stream of the skin.
Yeah, that's why you can't actually access the Strange from Earth. You have to go through another recursion. Dale's probably definitely got enough to know, like, that's why they're afraid that these other prime worlds have. The assumption is that they've been eaten. It's like one of those non-falsifiable theories. You can't actually prove it's true because they don't exist, or like we can't get to them, and it could be another explanation. But the primary explanation that the estate has forged is that they were consumed by planetivores, which is why they're so afraid of it. You may have heard a little bit of this, like that. I think it's one of those things that this is maybe the first time you're hearing someone really say these words to you, but it makes all of these other things make sense. Like, it's not that he's lying to you. It's that you just never really wanted to think about it.
Gotcha. Cool. Back in character.
Existential crisis.
Yeah, because it's kind of an existential crisis.
Yeah.
These little recursions that surround Earth, they're what keeps us safe, and eventually they'll all get destroyed. Or they won't. but they probably will.
Then why do you try to destroy them?
I'm not trying to destroy them. I'm just trying to live my life until I die.
I mean, that's one way to go out.
He kind of looks at Pine. I never did anything to Zanzut. I never hurt it. I never destroyed it. I lived in it.
Did you lie to them?
He kind of shrugs.
All right. If, for example, you have a friend who's sick, and they ask you, hey, can you go pick me up some medicine? And you say you will, but you never do. They get more sick. They're still expecting you to get them more medicine. You never do. You say you will, but you never do. You never killed the person with your own two hands, but they trusted
You're
you.
arguing I did through negligence. Here's the thing, though. I knew my friend had a terminal illness. Didn't matter if I brought them the medicine or not. They were still gonna die.
Fair enough, but in the case of these two scenarios, it sounds like you're more leaning on the side of you got your friend sick to begin with.
If I was that powerful, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
I mean, just saying that you could do something to begin with.
I am going to get supplies. I think we're a little bit far off from the town, but I think Pine actually starts at a light jog, and then you can see Pine switch to a quick sprint
Wait,
as he goes.
wait,
this
wait,
way.
wait.
Pine's just like, I'm out!
Wait, can I take me?
I think if you say it loud enough, Pine will turn around and like hoist.
We
and
shouldn't
then
go alone. I want to look for special things.
Scoop,
Oh,
splice, and then I think Pine does the same thing. And Pine probably gets like 40 feet away and then comes back, picks you up, and then goes.
Is Dale just doing this? Going
Yeah.
up.
I understand this. This is my burden.
This is your burden.
At last game, all I wanted was up, up, up. Like this is it.
It was pretty adorable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think as you run away, with Dale on your back, Rowan kind of shuts down. He stops like responding to you, and if you continue to press it, he is very clearly intentionally ignoring you.
Oh, okay. This is my favorite people to talk to on
I
Twitter.
know, right?
Now I got a moment alone.
It's the worst. It like, and I think you probably both just end up being kind of pissed off because he's just like, whatever. And
I can't send gifts in this recursion camera.
And you can't. No, you're just moving pictures in front of his face. Draw really quickly.
It's Arthur the Aardvark. That's you. It's you.
And I think that's where we'll take his break. Yeah, that's where we'll take our break. Whew. Playing a sociopath is
Yeah, it's gonna be
Super
like
creepy.
Dan
Channeling some
started
people
going
I
quiet
know.
because he knows already. He's just like, yep, I know how this rolls. I'm not gonna.
You
I
good?
wish I passed.
Oh
the
yeah,
note,
no, I'm
guys.
fine. I will.
Well, and
you
Anon
have
has
to know.
it.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
the note.
You passed it.
And
You
now
just
that
didn't
Pine's
pass
Oh
it.
gone,
no!
she
I
can
need
read
to.
it.
I need to log in. Anna, help!
It's cool. We can
Anna, help.
We can keep. We'll stretch. What does the note say?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
What
Yeah.
does so Anon like?
So the
pull
note
open the
says that the dragon stopped for a while.
Or just put Streamlabs up here.
May not actually
Faster.
eat princesses.
May not actually eat
the
princesses.
and
Okay.
then started attacking again out of nowhere.
I'm just gonna remind you that he was here, and then he left to Zanzut, where he passed on a jewel of knowledge to Pine. No, the
Ratchet.
first one is from William.
Hey!
Which is so happy to be here. I don't know if you know, but William's taking notes behind us, and I'm so sorry. I made up a lot of words, but I can spell them for you now.
I can spell the queen's name. Are you ready?
Yes.
C
Nope.
S
Nope.
Y A N I A. Sisania.
And King Devante.
Now I can't name a character Devante, but I actually kind of like that name.
It's a good name.
No, it's Dante. Bros.
Yay!
With $5. Brad, Chad, and Thad. Sorry, wait. Brad, Chad, and Thad have got your bronies covered. We have the highest of fist bumps and the sickest of kegs. If you need bro time, we can get you bro time. If you're bro not being bro enough, we got bro infusions for your bro tea. I mean beer. Yeah, bro!
Bro, bro.
That's the only time I've ever shouted bro.
Where are they on with those little seesaw things?
They gotta pump the keg. They're pumping the keg.
Diddy
Is that
Kong.
how you? Okay.
If you pump the keg too much, you get foam, Lauren.
Pump the keg! Got a Falcon and Venom with $5 and no message.
I just feel like you should tell people, don't pump the keg. If you over pump the keg, all you do is get is foam. You know how angry everyone gets to you at marching band parties when all you do is make foam? Nobody wants foam. Nobody. At all. You know what
And that
you do?
was-
Pump it just enough. 3 times for 1 solo cup.
I want you
And now you know. The more you know. Thank you so much for watching the first half. We will be back with the second half and more adventures of the sociopath and all of the other characters. Thank you so much. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
Sociopath.
So there
said
were
Bernie
words
Sanders.
that were being said, like as we were going live, and I missed what they were. Hi, everybody. Hello. It's wonderful to see you all here. Welcome, welcome. Look who appeared.
Wow, it's magic.
It's like
Bonsai
magic.
Bonsai
It's
baby.
like the fairies
What?
made a
Where?
deal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like
Oh,
fairies and contract law.
Oh, we're
It's
both
good.
bonsai baby.
Yes. Congratulations. We're gonna split the difference.
Actually,
You're bonsai and baby.
And
was
your
like,
baby.
Can
so
one of you
tiny.
be bonsai baby? It's one
Your
of you
Dale and your
bonsai
finger.
baby.
then.
Oh no, you have your name now.
Oh.
Wow, this ear.
Just the one. You're a half halfling,
I'm half.
quarterling. Hi everybody, it's good to see you here. Welcome back. Hope you had a lovely, lovely break. We are here for the second half of today's episode of Worlds Beyond, where they quest after a dragon and a princess. It's unclear. We're not sure. We're not sure. We'll find out. So.
Nothing.
Did you just figure something out?
I think so.
Okay, cool. I'm waiting for as people figure out what I have been alluding to for a while, and you can thank Claudia because you can thank all of you. You're all gifts. So hello, welcome back. Some reminders / announcements. This Saturday we will have another episode of Night Witches. You can check that out at 3 p.m. on this channel. It's also Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle this weekend, so if you happen to be there, feel free to ping some of us over in the Discord, for example. Let us know. Some of us might be wandering around in costume.
Yeah, if you're ever thirsty at Comic Con, let me know. I'll throw you down Capri Sun from my apartment.
Do you live on top of the
I live right on
Washington
top
State
of the convention center. I actually do. And I just throw down
And now
Capri
everyone on the
Suns.
internet knows where you live.
And now you know where I live. Internet, come get me.
You know, I'm actually gonna call you out on that Capri Sun because
I'm like, yeah, Capri me!
I'll send you a message.
I got a perch one on top of the Sheraton across the street.
Because you're
Like, I hope it's a literal perch.
It's a perch, yeah. Ice box full of Capri Suns, pocket full of Gushers.
Oh,
and I got
whoa.
Tostino
Oh.
pizza rolls
Whoa.
on a hot plate waiting for me.
It is
What?
very 1997 in your perch.
It's always
So I can just
1997
have
from
a
the top of a
plastic bag
Sheraton.
and be like, "Yo, kiss." They're just gonna have a plastic
So
bag.
on that note, again, it's Emerald City this weekend. Also, if you like Cypher System and you like things by Monty Cook Games, Monty Cook Games is currently running a Kickstarter for some new Numenera content, which uses the same core system that this show does, and occasionally we pull some cross elements from there because all of it is cross-compatible. So it's a really cool resource if you're running any games using Cypher System. There is going to be a link thrown in chat, so grab that, head over to that Kickstarter, consider supporting their awesome work because it also helps support us in a weird roundabout there's more games in the world sort of way. Yeah, it's cool. It's good. So go check that out. Those are our main announcements. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so in a lot of ways. You can directly donate. I'll read out any of those messages that come through at the end of the show. Or in some cases, like Falcon was saying, their message just didn't show up. I don't know. It's the internet. But thank you for your hypothetical, very kind words that you said. You're put that notebook right in front of my face, Claudia. That's great.
I'm trying to have secret
Go
notes.
low. Go low. Yeah, no. Pass that secret note.
the camera?
Yeah, like
Great.
I love it. I love it.
You get us done.
we got this new table.
It's a good table.
It actually is a really good.
I mean, in
table.
fairness, this was still an issue we've had before.
I don't know what you're talking
I want to say shows without me on them have also had this problem.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, I thought that was very pointed at me.
No. It's just like you were literally like, let me put this thing in front of the camera.
It was worth it, though. It was a drawing.
Good.
We're professionals.
We're
Thank you.
super professional. This table's really nice, though.
It
a
is
very
really
nice
nice.
Yeah, so you can support us with direct donations or with Patreon or by sharing or talking about the stream. So with that, starting with our newest appeared player, let's introduce all who these lovely
A challenger
humans
has appeared.
are. Yes, who has appeared?
I'm player 2. I'm Janine. I am Admiral Asma. You can find me on Twitter at Admiral Asma, and I am playing Jade Atwood, one-armed captain of the estate.
I like how when you say that, it makes it sound like you're in charge of the whole estate. Well, isn't she though?
Basically.
Hello. My name is Bonsai Baby, but I play Dale Fink, who you don't need to know anything about. Did they tell you? Don't ask them. Bro.
Hi, I'm Jackie Dash. I'm playing Pine Knight. My own pronouns are she, her. Pine's pronouns are he, him, and I like to think of us as if we're all kind of your player 2. I'm the awkward Wiimote that you comes with the Wii. That's player 5. So I sometimes make platforms appear in Mario Brothers Wii U.
Ooh, are we choosing controllers?
I think so.
I'm gonna be the controller that's not actually plugged that you give your little kid's sibling to.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Nathan Kiss, aka What Is Kiss. I'm playing Oswald Dukes, a lucky spinner that channels Sinfire. Both of our pronouns are he, him, and I'm either a Nintendo, Super Nintendo scope that you can only use to play the game Yoshi Safari, or I'm a Game Boy Advance, so you can play Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles with your friends. Choose.
So we get it. You're a gamer.
Get out, nerd.
You were so cool. I was like, I better make fun of him to feel superior.
I appreciate you so much.
Who are you? And what are you? I guess.
Hi, I'm Shell Game. I have been sitting here this entire time trying to figure out what controller I am, and I don't know.
Who are you playing? Let's start with that. That's the question you're actually supposed to answer.
Okay. I am playing Anandisi, whose pronouns, like my own, are she, her. She's an appealing paradox who leads in this recursion. And,
VR controller, because they're slick.
oh!
You be the Kinect, underappreciated but also great.
You can be the Power Glove.
What's the power
The
glove?
Nintendo Power Glove? You put it on, it's an entire thing you put on your hand, and it can do
Oh,
It's like a full, like, forearm, like strap.
Leela's screen, except less useful.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was the worst.
Oh, you're
best
calling
thing.
her useless.
I did think about a Switch, but I think I'm gonna go with VR because I think that seems appropriate for.
You didn't answer. What controller are you?
Player 2.
It's a player
Oh, you're
two.
player 2. I'm Random Tuesday. I am your GM for this evening. My pronouns are she, her, and I am a keyboard and mouse.
Oh, Master Race.
Write this down.
No, I'm a third-party Xbox controller that doesn't always work with your computer.
Oh, yeah. China or something.
Yeah. Look, it was cheap.
Yeah, I actually.
Welcome back to our second half of Worlds Beyond. So in the first half, we discovered that Rowan Wise is a sociopath. But currently, the king and queen of Astoria, King Dante and Queen Sayana, it's Sayana, Sayana. Claudia spelt it with a C and then something else.
C-S-Y-A-N-I-A.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Sienna.
Yeah, sure.
Never mind.
The letter C dash A-N, no, Sayana. And she, they agreed that instead of immediately executing the sage through beheading, instead of immediately beheading Rowan Wise, he was allowed, in true tradition for the Kingdom of Astoria, to attempt to put right the crimes that he put wrong, or the things he put wrong, by undoing the damage that he has done to the kingdom. Or die trying.
Or die trying.
If he fails and doesn't die, then he will be executed. And he has signed a contract to this effect.
If he succeeds and doesn't die on the quest.
Then has absolved him of his crime.
Of his crime here.
He is
and this
banned from the
recursion.
kingdom. He is exiled from the kingdom, but he is not put to death.
And he enters Anon's world.
I mean, then they don't really care what
Or
happens to him.
you.
Look, in this instance, he either dies or he fixes the problem, and I think the king and queen win in both cases.
Yeah.
So it's really a win-win situation for them. But as part of this agreement, Pine committed themselves to it, as did the rest of the group, to ensure that he was able to succeed and didn't simply run away, because for some reason they were super suspicious that he might just run away. I don't know what made them think that. And they all have signed a contract through the magic of legitimancy. They have all signed a fairy contract, which essentially prevents them from directly hindering his quest, prevent like anything that would directly prevent him from completing his quest. They can help him, but if he, it's like a lot of things. Like if he hurts them, they're allowed to fight back, and if he runs away, they're like absolved. If he succeeds in getting away, the contract's broken. And the conclusion that we really come to, that Dale figured out, is this place really likes fairy contracts, and that people make and break them kind of all the time.
All the time.
So they left the palace. They learned some more things about the fact that, again, Rowan Wise is kind of a terrible person, and
Yeah, kind of.
kind of. There was feelings, and so Pine. So I think we leave the group of Oz, Anon, and Rowan kind of behind as they're heading at a slightly slower pace towards this village that's right near the palace, and we see Pine and Dale, who is a halfling, quite small, on Pine's back, running towards the village at about as fast as Pine can go.
I don't
and
think,
I think
you've ever been this fast.
No.
like your wind blowing hair,
Oh,
like your
this
lips
is
being
kinda
pulled back
sick.
from the G's.
I assume we're going down a hill, so
Yes,
Pine is doing
yeah.
that. Have you ever been like? I used to do cross country, and something amazing is when you go perpendicular to the hill as you run down it. So you lean.
Do you think I
forward.
run in real life
And in your fake fantasy
in
life.
fantasy? They're running exercise.
So running parallel or perpendicular to the ground, you feel this lurch to run forward to go faster.
You mean falling?
Yes, but falling
But with
and using
control.
using falling as a way to get further and distance, and you can feel like Pine actually willing to move forward and move faster, and you kind of being along for that ride.
Oh god, I feel a little sick. Pine! Pine! Please!
And we see Pine just like pick up speed and make it kind of clattering down this hill. And I think eventually you like sort of come to a stop. The hill ends and you sort of even out slightly and you make this sort of last jog. And up ahead, you see the village. And what are you looking for? Like you left to go get supplies, but I think you also just left to leave the feeling pool.
Did you work that out of your system?
I think Pine is still lightly jogging, which I think to you might be a sprint.
It's fine. It's not going down in a sickening pace. All right.
Map, water,
Food.
food. Do they have horses here?
And I think you look over and we sort of follow your vision as it turns over and we just see a familiar person, someone who very quickly left the palace. And I think somehow you probably caught wind of this because like some servant person came up to you somewhere in the palace. And so we flash back to this scene and we see someone like come over. Where did Jade go? Immediately after seeing King Dante of Astoria. And they shared a heated but intense memory.
She listened to her instincts, which told her to flee to the women's bathroom.
Okay.
So she may have not found it, but she at least was heading.
So we
go hide.
like, yeah, you're kind of walking around the palace trying to look for something, and I think eventually someone comes and like taps you on the shoulder. Excuse me, ma'am. Yes. I have been told to inform you that your friends are embarking upon a quest forthwith towards the mountain, and they said they will meet you somewhere. They didn't give me a lot of details. It's like a servant in the king and queen's livery with the, sort of their colors, their sigil embroidered onto the
They
uniform.
wear the sigil?
Oh, just
Yeah, of course they do. They're servant's livery. Yes.
Thank you. What's your name? Nice to meet you.
A pleasure.
Thank you for the message. You can tell them I will be. I'm going to go pick up some supplies.
and then they walk away.
It's like when you eat hot soup, but then it just starts burning gradually.
You notice you felt like, did they become harder to understand while they were talking
Oh,
to
the
you?
heat creeping
Like-
up.
Like, did they suddenly lose like the ability of you? It was
I'm
odd,
like,
but you sort
I'm
of
just like,
remember
I'm,
it from
I'm
the last
getting
time.
out of this. I'm just getting as far from this
And you very
room as I can.
very quickly make your way into the village.
Yeah.
You are probably there, and then a little bit later, you are joined. You turn and we look over and we see Jade standing there. And what does she look like in this recursion?
She's got herself a little fetching elven cape. But I mean, I don't know if it's clear to the party. She definitely went and had a beer.
She was very efficient. There wasn't actually that much
She stocked
time.
up on supplies before she went and got everything they're going to need for a journey up the mountain because she's familiar with the
Oh,
mountains.
you took the express route, and we went the long path down. The
I think she hitched a ride.
It doesn't take
We
Jade
walked,
that
she
long
went on a
to
wagon.
down a pint.
Yeah, it was supplies.
Yeah.
So I think we see Jade like coming out of some sort of pub. The
It's a saunter.
yeah, a little saunter, the Tipsy Cart, the Tipsy Cart Tavern.
Ah,
Yeah.
like that.
But she's got a couple provisions for the road.
Captain,
You know. So,
it looks like you've already prepared. Excellent. Then we can go.
yeah,
forth.
I wanted to get a jump on getting things for us for our journey.
Thank you. You saved me and Dale a trip.
You would distinctly notice that only Pine and Dale are currently here.
Where's everybody else?
They are walking down the hill, and I thought it would be wise if we fetched all the things so that we can move efficiently as soon as Rowan got down the hill.
Jade just like takes off her pack and's like, here.
Oh well.
You want it?
Jump down.
Yeah. I just like I think he doesn't even let you. Like I think he just moves you to the other shoulder.
I'm like, I've got one arm.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
Okay.
As soon as you say that, I'm just
Drunk as Jade.
On a scale of like, I mean, she'll be fine. She forgot she only has one kidney. And part of a liver. Or a liver. Part
Her
of a
liver's
liver.
fine. Her liver's fine. It
Okay,
was
so
the
she's
pancreas.
she's
is
not in
the
too
diabetic sort of concern.
Yeah. She's not in too bad of shape, but she's definitely like, oh, this has hit me harder than I thought it would. But yeah, she's also like, you realize like she's got a turkey leg.
Captain, are you enjoying the festivities here?
Yeah. I like this place.
Have you ever been to Sansu?
No.
I would visit it. It is a lovely place. We do not. If you come to the palace within the trees, I will treat you as a guest.
That's nice, Pine. I appreciate that.
Did you grab
Did he say anything about me?
The sage? I'm sorry, I don't. Think
No. Dante.
He was
Didn't say anything.
surprisingly quiet, which I think is wise for a king of his age and with the fury the queen possessed.
Oh. Okay.
I believe her kingdom will thrive under her claws.
They have any kids?
They had one. Had? Don't know. Hey. So
There was a princess.
Yes.
And we
And-
don't know where she is now.
Nope. But was given to the dragon that we are going to talk to.
Dildris, the one we have to defeat. Actually,
How, I left you for like 45 minutes. How did you manage to get contracted to go after a dragon?
I go where I am needed.
Oh God, no.
To be fair, I've put some extra clauses in there. I've deeply read that contract.
I'm just okay. Look, we are not here to clean up the mess of some king that isn't doing his job as a rightful ruler. Okay. Like I didn't like come in here to clean up his mess and the sage's mess. They were supposed to drop off the sage for trial or whatever sort of
But
justice
he was
they have.
going to be beheaded, and that is something I
Great.
do not wish.
I think there's like this sort of bard that was like playing the flute and just sort of sees this conversation in that particular moment. Is like, I'm gonna just go elsewhere. And like picks up their stuff.
Street flute bard,
Yeah,
like,
just like scuttles away.
back.
You're all inspired though.
Okay, so
Oh no, not you. That was the bard.
we're going with Rowan.
Correct. He is up right over there, and like I
like
assume like
point as you see sort of maybe a 100 yards away Rowan with Oz and Anon and the trio looking quiet and disgruntled.
I will be very honest. I do not think Anon likes Rowan.
I don't like Rowan either.
Yes.
Are you still seating on
He
Pine's
didn't let
shoulder?
me down.
So Dale is quite small and on Pine's shoulder.
Oh.
Dale is a halfling size. He's what, 2 feet?
Yeah. 2 feet. Standing up straight. So maybe shorter.
You
But-
should be glad I let you be an entire foot shorter than I let Claudia be.
Oh, wait. How big are halflings?
They're
Then,
usually
Halflings
like
are normally
3
about 3
feet.
feet.
oh,
A short halfling
then I'm a
is
gnome.
your gnome. Yeah, gnome would be more like 2.
Gnome.
Gnomes are small.
I'm gnome.
That makes sense.
I got a little pudgier.
Little gnome.
Gnome yourself.
Get gnomed.
Yep.
So
I love this cast.
Keep going, keep going.
Not even good gnome joke.
Nobody knows the trouble
Okay,
she's
there-
seen.
there you
More
go.
gnomes, more.
All right, we done?
Do we have to be?
Captain,
No.
I understand.
Win a gnome. Gnome. Let's get back to the story.
Why do I get flashbacks of my parents all of a sudden?
I understand everyone's hesitation. Have you ever gone to a place you really like a place that you remember when you were younger and it was like your first time trying a like croissant? And the first time you have a croissant, it's buttery and it's delicious and it's covered in sugar and it's the best thing you've ever had. And then you go maybe a couple years later and you sense that the cart is like perhaps not as painted well and the taste is not good because you've had other croissants in that time.
Yeah.
And you've had other baked goods.
Yeah.
Do you still love the first croissant?
I love the memory of the first croissant. But memories change over time. They're not static things.
As another ale comes in. No, I'm just kidding.
It just produces from her.
Throw the turkey leg away, pull out a beer.
My bag of holding is just like beer.
I just... The croissant you had the first time was still a good croissant. Or was it bad and you just did not know it was bad and that there were other croissants?
From my perspective, it was a good croissant. But when you get older and your perspective changes, you may have a different understanding of it. Doesn't mean that you were wrong to think that at the time. It just means that you have more information now. And just because it isn't the best doesn't mean you don't eat it.
I think somewhere the analogy stopped being about the sage.
It was
Oh,
funny.
you the sage? Speaking of the croissant, Rowan Wise, Anon, and Oz, you walk up. You see the three of them in the distance, and you approach them. And Rowan's like, oh, good. Jade's still here.
Oh, I'm glad you made it.
I will punch you in the face.
I'm sure you will.
Oh.
Please let us know.
Lucky for you, there's just one arm to keep an eye on.
What happened to it? You
Bit it off in my sleep.
That sounds
I
like
was
you.
hungry and starving. Everybody else was dying, and I decided to sustain myself through eating my own arm.
You're a terrible liar.
Yeah.
Right. I can help with that.
Yeah. Don't hold your breath.
Have they caught you up on everything?
Well, seems we're going to the top of a mountain to look and see about a dragon. And this one's coming with us because we weren't comfortable with the beheading option.
Correct.
Mm,
Correct.
You didn't have to come with me. Could have gone on my own. But you, for some reason, didn't trust that I genuinely wanted to repair the damage that I had done.
Because you express that you generally don't care if you repair the damage that you do.
Let's get walking. You.
Onwards.
Tap you on the shoulder. Hey, look over there.
He begins walking. There are horses here.
There are horses.
But they look like, you know that thing where the people do their fingers?
No, they do not look like human hands with horse feet.
It's like the thumbs from Spy
No.
Kids. But they're
Ooh,
They look like very normal horses.
no, they're all ponies.
their teeth are
But
fingers.
they come with little coconuts.
Wait. I didn't. Do we have enough money for horses?
Instead of the mane, it's nails.
I believe.
How much
The
are
Dragon Ball Z character.
Let me go. I inquire at the stable. How much is it to rent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I can share a
5
horse.
horse
Where are you taking them?
up that there mountain?
It sounds like you're trying to buy some horses, because I don't think they're coming. I don't know why I'm southern now. Because I don't think they're going to be coming back down the mountain.
Oh, you don't.
Boy. Oh, it's Mount Death.
Oh,
I guess it's the long dark.
okay.
Tall dark.
How much?
And handsome. 100 gold a horse.
I have 600 from when I transformed into this area. I think that's enough.
Okay.
Oh, wait, you're gonna. Hold on. My good sir, I don't think you know who I am. Or who these travelers are.
Wait. Oh, there you are.
But yes, have you, I have heard that there are dragons in that area that have been
Yes.
plaguing the
Yes.
town.
They tend to also eat the horses. And
Yes.
often the riders, which is why I'm probably not going to see the horses again.
Yes, but
That's why it's 100 gold a horse.
don't you
That's
know
a
of the
cheap-
legend? The legend of the group of...
The dragon eaters.
Yes. We are that group. I am the wizard that is foretold. Lying and deceit.
This is the thing that Dale does.
May I assist?
How do you assist Dale's lie?
Because I feel lies are coming on.
Yeah, this one you can actually telegraph because Dale is talking.
Yeah. And also, when they say dragon eaters, it's going to do like little, like burp, but it's going to be fire. Comes out.
Because you're sitting. Or
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Would
channeling that
this
Sin
would be
fire.
an intelligence, right? Or is this a...
Yeah, this is an intellect roll.
Can I offer him some great advice about how to?
Yeah, how do you help Dale with this little lie?
So I think Anon would just be like,
Tell about our deeds.
yeah,
Yes.
like a sort of like I was thinking like refer to the pendant. I'm sure somebody's wearing a pendant.
Use,
Yes.
The owl, the winking owl.
The winking owl.
use the stable
Yeah,
owner's
use-
name. a lot when you address them.
Oh, yes. We don't know.
That always works.
They'll respond well to
Every
it.
time.
Is the owl winking, or perhaps is one eye always open?
Oh. Ever watchful.
Okay, so it is 1 step easier because of you, 1 step easier because of you, and 1 step easier because of you. That is 3 steps easier. Are you applying any effort?
1 level of what? Intellect? Yes.
Intellect?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'll go ahead and do that. And that only costs please 20, 20, 20, please. Oh, only 10. But
Plus.
still, plus.
You did knock
Plus
down
friendship.
4 steps.
Yes.
So he kind of looks at you. The tale of the dragon eaters. The one who will slay the dragon.
And bring peace upon the land.
The hungry ones.
Stand a little tall.
Well, I've been called that before. Well, I suppose if you really are those of legend, then I have no choice but to give you horses. That's how legends work. It's fairy law.
Very loud.
But if you do not defeat the dragon,
He's gonna make us sign a contract.
why did you say that? Now he is.
Good.
Now he-
Fine.
No. If you do not defeat the dragon, then you will be haunted forever
By the horses?
by the failures of your deeds.
Oh.
But you'll be dead. And also you'll be in debt. And your descendants will pay your debts because also fairy law.
I see no problem with this.
Great. Thanks. We'll just be taken.
What do we have to sign?
No.
Oh.
No.
You sign nothing.
Cool. That's fine.
You have already signed with your words.
Oh, verbal contract. Total fairy law.
There's a very low.
Jane's just like saddling the horses.
So you go back and you now have your haunted ghosts. Look, you go out and you sort of you're looking over the horses and like they're maybe not the best horses, but they're the ones that you're gonna get
All right.
I got a
for
10.
no money.
I'm gonna roll for horses.
Yeah, roll for your horse.
12.
12. Your horse is maybe above average
Yes.
Yay.
Are we all rolling for
if you want to.
14?
If not, you're 14. Your horse is slightly above average.
Why did I waste that roll?
What did you get?
I got another 20.
You have an excellent horse.
No, I want to save it for something that's
Too late.
useful.
Can I roll for a donkey? Because I'm.
You're gonna get a pony.
Oh, I got a pony.
I bet
get a
your
pony.
horse is like
Oh God, a one-legged pony.
either
What did
all
you
white
roll?
with
3.
black hair.
3. It's a very.
white
It's
hair.
got mange.
Your
I
pony
want it
has
to be on
mange.
fire when I'm on fire.
My pony has mange.
I rolled a 2.
Your horse has probably a broken shoe and probably mange. And like a glass eye. You don't know why your horse has a glass eye. But it has a
Mange on the range, and it's not even a horse eye.
Oh! Wait, does that mean it's too big or too small? Never mind. I don't want to.
By the way, pet peeve of mine in movies, they always have the eyeballs circular. My grandpa let me play with his fake eye. It's only cone, like only a half moon.
Oh,
Yes.
That makes sense,
They're
Marjorie.
not because you gotta take it out and clean the pus out every now and my.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
rods and cones.
Yeah.
The more you know.
I'm assuming Rowan also gets a horse, or is he
Yes.
gonna have to ride on one of our horses?
He will get a horse because
Alright.
as far as they're concerned, he's part of the. He's a slightly below average. It's an 8.
Fine.
I almost want to be like.
My horse is called
No,
Cassandra, but with a
Jade, you
K
should-
and
you
2
should.
X's.
Leaders
He
eat
gets
last.
on his horse. Yeah. Well, that was thrilling.
Let's ride.
Onwards to the mountain I need to name better.
The Tall Dark is pretty good.
Yeah.
The tall, dark,
That's
and
all dark.
And
Deadly.
oh, tall, dark, and deadly.
It probably has multiple names, but that's what
Its name is Antonio.
that's what it's called.
No,
That's
just-
one of its names. That's what one of
Antonio.
the tall dark is one of its names.
that's a sexy mountain.
It is
So
a
what do
sexy-
we know about this dragon?
Likes princesses.
It's very
Makes-
hungry. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
As
no,
I
you're
flourish another note out of nowhere.
Pass it to Jade. You begin riding onwards. How are you going to navigate? Besides looking at it. Every so often, it does end up out of view because you were on top of a hill, which has made it easier to see. It is a mountain; it is fairly visible from most places, but you cannot take a straight line to it. So, how do you choose to traverse your terrain? Yes.
May I take a good glance at a map and the mountain and apply an understanding to both?
Yeah, I think you can ask her. Yes, you can look at a map. I don't know why I'm a pirate. I was trying to be sort of West Country, but I ended up as a pirate. This is the horse store owner.
Oh, you're still here.
I assume that's where you're getting a map from. It didn't come. It's not painted onto the flank of your horse.
I thought we got like supplies.
We didn't go.
Did you get a map?
Sure.
Okay, then yes, you have a map.
I like that. No, you can come with us. I like you. You're my friend.
Yeah, do you want to come with us to tell the tale of the...
No, I don't want to get eaten.
Get out on the back of my horse.
No.
All right. Well,
Oh,
I tried.
You wanted to
Apply understanding to check out the map and then the mountain. Just pretty much see like, oh yeah, we're going straight this way. We're approaching the mountain from the southeast.
Okay.
And yeah. And I think that's all I got to apply for this. Fell on my scarf now. Fell on my scarf now. It's a 3.
Perfect. Yeah, you are very confident you are reading this map correctly.
But my horse tells me otherwise.
No, it does not.
Oh no.
Horse
Why-
can't read a map.
Why did I waste that 20 on a horse?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Does the sage ever correct us if we're going the wrong direction?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh.
Okay. I trust you.
Yeah, you're pretty confident. You know where you're going.
Alright. Straight this way through the in the map.
the
Is there
woods.
like right through the woods.
Through
Right,
the
we're gonna go
woods and
right through the
over the
woods.
hill.
Quickest way to get there.
That's definitely the fastest route. There were several routes on the map. Through the woods was definitely the
The
fastest.
sun's high right now. By the time we get through the woods, into the base of the mountain, we should be, worst case scenario, approaching dusk. But we got it.
Yeah, you definitely read the scale in that map correctly.
Yeah.
All right
She
then.
had a navigation chart like tattooed on her hand, like some people do. Would it change per the recursion to be the correct?
Yeah.
Sometimes it might, and other times it might not.
Depending on if the world
Even
makes
odds,
sense.
even odds.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think we'd have to like roll to see what it looks like.
I think I want to get a tattoo like that.
That seems like a really useful tattoo.
That does.
Yeah.
It's just
Because
reading a
I
bunch
think it
about,
probably depends on the recursion and whether or not like
Ooh.
maps work there or like navigation makes sense there.
Yeah.
It's just reading about like female navigators, like seafarers had that tattoo. And
It would probably be specific to like a kind of navigation.
right.
could put
But yeah, if
magnets in
you
your
send me some info about it, like I can as long as I know what the context would be on Earth, then we can figure out what the context would be in a given
I
recursion.
think it only works for like really specific parts of the hemisphere too. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could also do what people do now, which is put magnets in the tip of their fingers so they get used to know where true north is. And there's also, like, you could insert something
Wow.
like a microchip in there that would vibrate whenever you're pointing true north because your brain actually takes a lot of details on and it just chooses to ignore things. I look up things on the internet.
Like for right now, you're looking at your nose, but your brain's been teaching you not to notice your nose.
Yes.
But you're
Now
looking at
I'm-
your nose.
Now I'm noticing my nose.
This is how we spend our time, Sage.
Yeah.
That's why we move so
Yeah,
quickly.
the sage is like, is this really the conversation that you are having right now?
Well, I just
Yeah.
always know which direction. to
Well,
go.
you see, okay, how do I explain this? When people enjoy each other's company, they like to talk about things that are not like super pertinent. Like they're not trying to accomplish anything. How do I explain friends?
You know, I don't know if you
so-
can if he doesn't have a heart.
Okay, I feel like you're trying to insult me or hurt me.
I think I'm just being petty.
Yep, no, that sounds right. That's
Yeah.
about what you're capable of.
Look, you can do it too.
So he just sort of keeps riding. Sun's setting a little bit faster than maybe it should be based on your calculations. It's getting a little dusky out. It's very pretty actually. The light is sort of glinting off of the clouds.
Do we need to arrive like in
Um,
daylight or?
Yeah, that was the. Unless it's magic? No, that doesn't make sense.
We're off.
I
We're
think we're
off
off
course.
No,
Okay.
the fastest route you said was through the woods.
Yeah, but I can
So
make
through the woods we go.
Well,
Mind
we should
read.
probably.
Can I?
You're welcome to roll it.
Man, I
Just
wish I
in
knew
case.
about your mind reading because I could give you advice.
Oh, natural one.
Fastest way to the mountain is definitely through the woods. You don't know whose mind you're reading right now, but that's what someone tells you.
I do like these woods.
Is he lying?
Feel free to roll. You have seen through deception, right?
Let me see what
Noticing
I have.
through
Oh.
lies.
Yeah.
I have that too, but I use my other.
It's yeah.
I'm rolling so bad on this navigation, you guys.
Here's the thing.
I got 3.
We're in a
not
forest. I understand forests. We just keep going, and the forest eventually has to end.
This is reminding me of a door that we came across recently.
Isn't a tree just a door to a forest?
Oh my god.
And
Let's make camp.
Sun. Oh, okay. You want to make camp in the forest or at the edge of the forest?
Well, we're still in it now, so we'd have to.
You're approaching it. Like up ahead
Oh.
of you is the forest. The path that you're on is clearly leading through it. The sage is like, yeah, we're going through the forest.
Pine, you know forest a little bit better than I do. Do you think we should camp in the forest or on the edge?
I would like to roll for I want to just take a moment of silence and see if I can hear things. Because if
Perception?
because if I don't hear anything, that means there's predators in this forest. If I do hear things, that's just the forest being a forest, and that's all good.
Yeah.
Forest should be loud.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
13 on my perception.
Do you have anything that helps you?
I am not known for my
Noticing skills.
noticing skills.
You hear noises, like you hear the sounds of a forest. Like it doesn't sound particularly quiet. It doesn't sound particularly spoopy. Yeah, you hear birds. You hear some animals. You kind of familiar sort of nighttime sounds. Like it's starting to get into the evening. The birds are getting a little bit quieter as the sun is beginning to set.
Captain, I do not sense any problems, any predators, anything that is larger than us.
As you say that, you hear a piercing scream.
However, I do believe the edge of the forest might be a better place for us to go.
It sounds like the scream of a young child.
Oh no.
The sage doesn't look like he's going into the woods. He's like, oh, yep, you're right, Pine. We should definitely stay outside. Oz is definitely charging in.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
are we in the forest now, or do we?
You are at the edge of the forest.
Oh, I think if you go, I think I'm gonna take a look back and then go after him.
Let's go.
Why do you want to stay on the edge?
Because there's probably something in there that's dangerous.
You don't know what it is?
No.
Can I tell if he's lying?
You can roll. Yeah.
Okay.
You're always welcome to roll to see if he's lying if you want.
19.
He doesn't know exactly what it is, but he probably has some ideas.
Okay.
He's just not saying. Yeah, you're running in. What are you doing? Gallop in.
Yeah, figuring out and noticing. Oh, no one else came. All right, cool. Let's go.
I'll go with you.
Okay,
I think you hear more hoose beefs
Yeah.
Beats.
afterwards.
And as I'm thinking about this, everything's going in my head. It's kind of like, all right, person needs help. Could be princess. Oh, they probably escaped from the dragon. Oh, they're probably still alive. This is probably good. Wait, could be a trap. Are there banshees out here? Oh, had an Irish accent. Save owner.
Do you want to
Wait.
give me like a quick genre knowledge?
Yes, please.
As you run into this. What'd you get?
12.
I'm gonna say two things to you. Young girl screaming, forest, fairy tales.
Oh, it's all of them. Oh. Okay.
Those are probably the first 3 things that like go over and over in your head.
All right, so it's she's either just being harassed or she gentrified some bear's neighborhood.
You know you're far away from the mountain.
Okay. Ooh, Altidio. Altidio, I like it. And do I? You're with me. too,
Yeah,
as
I'm
well.
with you.
You take a rein.
I
Ties
stop
reins to us. So we can go.
and do a quick kind of look around.
3 things. And 3 things. So you stop. You pull, you pull on the reins of the horse. So okay, let's reset. You're going in. You've gone in. You're still with the sage, who doesn't appear to have any desire to go into the woods.
Which I'll have a conversation after we resolve.
Yep. Pine,
I mean,
you're running in. Dale.
Frank went in, but the sage.
Don't worry, I won't let him run.
Okay, so I will go in my little tiny pony.
So you pull. You up on your. You hear the scream again. You're looking around. Give me your perception. Your roll to notice.
All right. Put some 2 levels of effort into this.
Okay.
2. I set the number and then it rolled that number.
You're gonna be paused for a moment as you're like looking around and you're just trying to find where's the scream coming from. Like it seems to be echoing and kind of bouncing. It's darker in here. The trees, even though it's still a little bit of light and sunset, like it's not quite as bright as it was. Jade, you took off almost right after Oz. What are you doing? Are you just gonna get up to him, or are you gonna try and stop? Or
I'll get up to him.
okay, so you kind of get up to Oz as he's just like trying to figure out where this sound is coming from. Pine, you're probably like right on Jade's tail, and Dale, you went in.
Yes, but like a step or 2 behind because of like I looked at Anon first to make sure she's gonna stay with the sage, and then I followed because there's like so I think 2 beats behind. I guess.
Okay, yeah, we'll let them take another thing. So the 3 of you kind of group up as Oz is trying to figure out where the sound is coming from. What do you do?
do we hear it again?
You've heard the scream twice now. Oz can't figure out what's going on. What do the 2 of you want to do? He's. You 2 are welcome to try and figure it out.
No, I'm sitting here being like, what would Pine do?
Yeah.
Because I
Oh, go ahead.
yeah.
Inan's not there. She's
No.
just gonna try and make the sage go with her or force.
Jade's going to think long and hard about all the traps that she's encountered in her long career with the estate. And see if she can compare it.
You also have a little bit of experience in this recursion. You've been here before.
Right.
It's been a while, but you were here, and how many years ago would that have been?
It was.
If they gave the daughter to the thing, be like
It
16
was
years at least.
But time works differently.
23 years ago.
Okay, 23 years. So about 23 years ago is when you were here. So things have changed, and the dragon was
Yeah.
still asleep when you were here.
Right.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was
It's
early
more of a
on.
party
Oh
time
no, I
back
guess
then.
the dragon was never asleep. So the dragon wasn't asleep, but the dragon
Maybe
was
somewhere else.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Like it goes around and pillages a lot, but it wasn't asleep. Like you remember, they were at war with the dragon. It was a big deal. Okay, so you want to look around. You want to see what's going on. Pine, you're not really sure what you're gonna do. This is like a single moment, right? Like you heard the second scream. Oz kind of stopped, tried to figure out where it was. You catch up to Oz. Like this is all.
I think I'm gonna dive like so we this is probably the same path we came along. So we went out of the forest this way and then we ran back in. I think Pine's just gonna choose another direction. Like Pine's gonna make his best guess and go for it. So can I roll to see like perceive that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, try and make your best guess. You're trying to figure out
10.
what you know. 10.
6.
You don't really remember? There's a lot of monsters here. Like, it's a fairy tale recursion. There's a lot of things that are bad, that eat things, that prey after people. Like, there's a lot. You...
Can I get an 180, like, can I get a hemisphere of which direction to go? So, like, maybe I don't know north, south, east, west, but I do know it's going to be on the left or the right.
Yeah, I think you know. I think you have a vague direction. You've got a little bit of a sense. That's a little bit of a direction.
Okay. Am I going? Is it deeper woods in that direction?
Yeah. You're
I will
definitely
get off
heading
my
into the
horse
woods.
and then go in it because
Okay, so you get off the
horses
horse.
will break their ankles and horses are not good in forests.
This is a true statement, unless you're on a path. So
Unless
you
the
see
king-
Pine dismount and head into the woods.
Oh, I get it. Oh no. Should one of us stay with the horses or?
I don't know. I don't hear it anymore.
Oh, do you mind keeping an eye on the horses?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's okay.
If you want to go, I can stay,
no,
but I
I'll
don't want
stay
to.
with the horses.
Are
It's
you
fine.
sure?
Mm-hmm.
I know you can do more.
It's okay.
Okay.
Besides, your power set is more suited to this than mine.
Okay. I'll be right back.
I will have your horse.
Thank you. Thank you.
You take after Pine. A few moments later, as you're getting closer, you hear it again. You hear another scream, that kind of like young girl screaming, and then it's cut off. Sudden.
Oh no.
Where is it? Natural 20.
With a natural 20, you hear, like, you're listening incredibly. You pinpoint it directly ahead of you. And you also hear heavy breathing and a snarl
Oh no, big bats.
as you begin to head forward and you sort of peel out through the woods. And I'll let you actually say you applied understanding as you're listening to this. So
I sure did.
Well,
that's your boon for rolling your natural 20. As you tumble kind of out into not really a clearing, but kind of a space in between some of the trees, and you see this large, lumbering figure. It is maybe 10 feet long from nose to tail. It's dark and furry.
Okay.
And you hear heavy breathing and snarling. And it turns around, and two yellow piercing eyes look at you, and blood drips from its face as a small piece of red cloth seems to be hanging from its mouth.
Oh.
Well, now we know which fairy tale.
All right, time to go boom boom.
Okay. I need you to roll initiative.
am
I
I
think
there
for
as well?
everyone, or
You are just behind Oz. Anyone who'd like to participate, you're close enough to get there within, like, you're probably at long range. The rest of you are going to be, you're going to have to move a while. Like, you're pretty distant.
I'm
Yeah.
still like one turn away, right?
Yeah, you're with, you probably are just at where Jade is now.
Yeah.
Because so Anon would have basically told Rowan that he could either come willingly or she would try and use her power and like make him come without his horse, and it was his call. But she wasn't going to leave them, but she also
Cool.
wasn't going to leave him.
Yeah, so,
So that's
we'll,
what I
we'll
was-
have them roll, and then we'll flash back to that little conversation,
Okay.
and then we can have you insert into initiative.
Cool. Perfect.
Cool. And do this.
There's gotta be a way to increase.
19.
Yeah, you just need to be trained in initiative.
Next time.
19?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to be up. What'd you get?
1.
Cool.
17.
Cool.
I got a nat 20, if that helps.
Heck yeah, it does.
20.
So we're gonna go over here. So we're gonna pause on the group of you as we kind of flash back to seated outside. We see like the sage, like he's dismounting. He's like tying up his horse. He seems to be like clearly preparing to make camp at the edge of the woods.
Don't bother. We're going in there.
I thought we said we were making camp.
No, I think maybe you thought that. We'll make camp later. We need to go take care of them.
you are more than welcome to go into the woods with the dangerous thing. I have a quest, which is to take care of a dragon.
I'm not about to leave you here on your own, where you could just run away and hide somewhere in this recursion. So,
My contract prevents such a thing from happening.
I don't trust that you wouldn't make another one.
I have absolutely no desire to enter into the woods for absolutely no reason other than someone screamed. People die all the time. It's not my job to save all of them. My job is to stop the dragon.
Not that I think it's going to change your mind, but she's going to try and pick him up so that she can push him.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
Oh, a 4. Yeah, that didn't do anything.
He just sort of looks at you.
Yeah.
He turns around and continues making camp.
Oh.
Anon's, she's gonna look at Cetus and say, "Guard, don't let him leave."
And Cetus just like sits there and watches Rowan.
She's like, "Good job." And she's gonna climb on the horse and go after him.
Okay. And
Yay, Cetus.
yeah, he watches and Rowan sort of shrugs and it's like, have fun. And then I don't think you hear
flashes.
this, but we as the audience hear very quietly, try to die.
I think she flashes the Adam Nocturne equivalent
Equivalent
of a
of-
finger.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's like, is it the British way where you hold 3 fingers up?
No, it's
No,
just like
I mean,
this.
It's two.
Ah.
Oh.
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 Just whoop.
It seems really easy to accidentally
minute.
do that.
Isn't that? It's like the opposite of the Hunger Games. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I
oh,
like
Yeah.
this thing.
yeah.
So,
Which is just
it's like a swearing Girl Scout, like, how dare you!
Hey, hey.
I thrust my badge at you.
Do you
All
thrust
right,
your badge
so
at
go
me,
ahead
ma'am?
and
Yes, my
roll,
badge.
I do
roll your
thrust
initiative.
my badge, ma'am, but not at you, ma'am. But I do thrust my badge, ma'am.
Ah, I see.
Go ahead and roll yourself.
And Jamie
into
Kennedy
initiative.
was wonderful.
18.
18. Cool. All right. So up first, Dale, you are with Jade, which is you are a long range from where this conflict is happening,
Yes.
from the big bad wolf.
The beans.
And so what do you want to do? You cannot see the wolf from here.
No, I can't see anything.
It is pretty dense, so if you are at short range, you can see the wolf, but you will be at a disadvantage just because of how many trees they are. They kind of count as a little bit of coverage. So pretty much unless you're in immediate range, you don't have penalties. Is the only place. It's a small area that we're in. But you can hear them. You know what direction they went in. Jade can point it out. So what would you like to do?
I will get off of my pony,
Okay.
and then I know it's dark, so I'm gonna go ahead and run the distance with the light.
Okay. Yeah.
So
you're
it's-
gonna pull up
yeah.
a light.
make it
And,
easier.
you're gonna move, so you go from immediate to short range, so you can just see them now. As you kind of get up to them, that's your turn. Oz.
I'm going to whip out my bow and take a shot at this dude. Gonna apply some efforts and reach beyond to get that additional practice with bow. Effort, practice, understanding still apply. This is the first time interacting with it. And going to apply Pierce and take a shot with it.
So practice doesn't make it easier for you. Practice just allows you to use it without a penalty unless it's a light weapon.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
So 2 levels easier.
2 levels.
1 level from effort, 1 from understanding.
Yes.
Cool.
And and then the pierce attack too, which is just extra damage.
Cool. That's extra damage. Sweet.
It's a 10.
As you fire, your arrow goes slightly wide and lands next to the big wolf's paws.
Oh, that's not supposed to happen.
It licks its lips. Anon. Oh, am I there? No, you are
Running.
I assume you're just going. Okay, cool. So your turn is going to be getting up to Jade, and so now you are at long range. So Anan clumps in on her horse, and she's now where you are.
I'm watching the horses.
Oh, sorry it took me so long. Cetus
No,
is
it's
watching me,
okay.
asshole.
That's what it makes a lot of sense that I'm
We could.
horse duty. Yeah.
Do you want me to watch the horses?
No, I think you should. I'll watch the horses.
Are you okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Fine.
Jade?
Fine.
All right.
Here, give me your horse.
Well, all right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm going, and on will head to the woods.
Okay. We see the wolf as we cut back into the small little clearing. As it looks at you, it licks its lip. The like piece of red cloth sort of lands on the ground in this kind of bloody pool.
Is it blood? Okay.
And it looks at you, and it tilts up its head, and it howls this deep and resonant sound, and like it kind of vibrates through you. And I need both of you, Pine and Oz, to make an intellect defense.
Oh no.
Ooh.
And Dale, you're close
Oh
enough.
wait.
Oh, yeah.
I am immune to captivate roll. Like anything like captivate or something else.
charms?
I have yeah, it's like charms. I have
Cool. I don't think you're
willpower.
immune, but I'm guessing it makes it one
It
step
makes it
easier
one
for
step
you.
easier.
Cool.
And then. do I
Anything
get
for
any-
being afraid or resisting mental effects would count towards this.
I rolled another one.
Oh no.
But I do have that plus what says
I got 10.
it's technically a
You got a 10? Okay.
17.
A 17. Oz, you steel yourself. It is a big wolf, and it is a bad wolf, but you have told bedtime stories about this, and you know what happens to big bad wolves. Big bad wolves get killed. And that's how those stories go.
Ooh, we do the story of the big bad wolf and the 3 little pigs. How they kind of resolve their differences together. It's like he's not a bad wolf because that's saying that all wolves are inherently
Yeah,
bad.
he's gonna eat you. He's definitely gonna eat you. Everything you do related to this wolf for the next turn until the wolf's next turn is one step harder because the wolf is gonna eat you. That's definitely happening. You're terrified. You probably want to pee your pants a little bit. Pine with a 1. You are terrified.
Yep.
This is it's very. This isn't a dragon. This isn't
No,
what you signed up for.
Is this my full? No, the wolves have to exist.
I
in a
think you want to get
forest.
away from it.
Oh no.
You wanna
I
run.
hate this.
I'm sorry. Like
It's
you
okay, yeah,
want
it's
to get
allowed.
as far away from it as you can.
Do you run into me?
I
Oh
mean,
wait, would the psychic procession help me for this?
No.
No.
Again, that makes things that are psychic effects easier for you to do. This
Oh,
is
but,
not a skill that you have
Okay,
to use.
okay.
This is a defense. If you were trained in intellect defense or like trained at resisting charmed or fear, like that sort of thing,
Okay.
that would count. But with a 10, you still wouldn't have succeeded, even if it was one step easier.
Yeah.
Jade, it is your turn.
I have 3 horses.
4, and then your own. You have 5 horses.
Nope, not a horse.
Oh, 4 horses and 1 pony.
Pony.
Very important
Honey.
distinction.
Oh wait,
like
no, actually it's a riding dog.
Oh.
Oh,
is it?
Newfoundland.
Is
Yes.
it as big? So is it like?
Because
it's
this
like
is
the
what this
size
is
of-
D&D lore says that I get to ride a dog.
A mastiff.
It's just any medium creature, because you're a small creature. Right,
Yes.
I get it, yeah.
So is it the same size as Cetus?
Yes.
Could we have put
But
a
it's
saddle on
mangy.
Cetus?
But it's
No.
mangy.
Oh, okay.
It's a very mangy.
I mean, Cetus has a job right now, so.
Cias also would not have listened very well if he got excited.
I mean, he would listen to a nod.
Okay. So I'm a little bit of like a dog walker at this point.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
What I want to do is
Jade not fighting? I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Jade's going to, because I'm partway into the woods, right, with these horses, and I'm like, so I'm gonna take them back the way we came, like back towards, like leading the
Okay.
horses out of the woods, because I don't want them to
Okay.
lose a hoof. But I'll head back towards camp where we're in on
Yeah,
came from.
you make your way out to the edge of the forest, and like you see the sage there. He had this
Great.
horse, and he's making camp. He's lit a fire now.
Yeah.
It's starting to look kind of homey.
I'm going to tie the horses up like on the edge of the woods. I'm going to do a really good job so they don't like startle and freak
Okay,
out.
cool. So that'll be your
your last
that'd be
of
your
the
next turn.
Yeah.
All right, Pine. I'm sorry. This is hitting like the deepest, most intense primal fear that Pine has ever experienced.
I can't elaborate on this if you wish. or
Yeah,
I can
please
just
do.
run.
Can you tell me a childhood
I
traumatic
can tell you a
experience that
child-
Pine had involving large dogs?
I think there was a duke from another castle, not the castle within the woods, but it might have been like the castle on the cliffs, and they of course brought a set of dogs for the queen of the castle of the woods, and this dog was not trained. It was not well taken care of in where it was, and the dog did what it thought it had to do, and I think Pine remembers that, like remembers being afraid of this dog who was confused and
Like probably bit Pine and
or bits like
Yeah.
either like bit Pine or maybe like snapped at Pine when he walked by when he was really young. Pine was one of those gangly kids, like all like I swear looked like a whoop, what is it called, like a bamboo shoot. That's what Pine looked like as a kid. I think he was I think he was always taller than his older sister, like kind of. He just remembers that look, that maybe because there's like red in its mouth, because maybe it was tearing apart something when he looked, but Pine just books it. Like,
Okay.
Pine just turns. I think he keeps the grip on his weapon because
Yeah.
that's what he's trained to do, but I don't think he thinks much.
okay. Damn. You see Pine just run past you the opposite direction.
Force shield. Because I'm scared.
On yourself?
Yes.
Okay. That's your turn.
Yep.
Oz.
All right, first one didn't work. Gonna try it again. All right. Let's do this again. And take a shot with the bow with the effort. This time I'm just gonna do 3 levels of effort into the shot.
Okay.
It's a 12.
You hit it just barely. Like you have a moment of hesitation because you are not super afeared. No, you passed. You
Yes, I
succeeded.
did. Yeah.
And you hit it.
Nice. And that's the. Do we longbow, medium, or big 'em?
I think we decided this one because it's two-handed. I think it can be.
Biggin?
Are you trained? You're trained in all bows, right?
Trained in all bows.
No.
No,
no,
practice
you are
with
not.
bows. Practice with
because you
bows.
do not have that focus anymore.
Oh yeah, I'm still doing fire stuff.
You have the fire stuff.
Yeah. So it's just the level of the efforts and then the 12. So yeah, just straight on.
So I think you're still trying to use a longbow, but you're not trained in it.
Oh no.
Because longbows are medium, you have to be practiced, otherwise you get a -1.
But I'm still trained in.
Are you practicing
weapons.
medium and light weapons?
Mhm, as a spinner. That's
Okay,
like a
then it
given.
can be a medium weapon. Cool.
All right. So
Yeah.
then all that plus the
It just can't
additional
be
one.
it can't be a heavy weapon.
No.
Because you're not trained in this as a spinner. All right, so 4 damage from that plus the extra damage from your
Pierce, which is a freebie, because it costs 1 point of speed, and I always got it.
How much damage does it do?
Plus the additional 1 for speed, so medium weapon plus 1.
Okay, so 5 damage.
Yes.
All right. As you lodge this arrow into its shoulder, Anon.
When I assume I come into the clearing at this point.
I think you see Pine because you have to go one more turn moving to get
Because
to the
now
wolf.
me and Anon are both
Yeah.
short range from the wolf.
Oh,
You're both long range from it now.
Oh,
No,
okay.
short.
No, because you were at short range and then you moved to long.
Oh, I thought it was at immediate range. With the, oh, wow.
Immediate is melee.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
You would have needed to have moved up to it to get to it. I didn't have you start in melee range of a very scary wolf.
I would have liked.
I think she's gonna try and like pine, and like try and like catch him and figure out what's going on before she just goes headlong into whatever is going on up there because Pine ran away. Pine doesn't run. So she's gonna be like Pine. Hi. Okay. Inhale. There you go. Yeah. Hey. Whoa. You're not alone. I know.
No.
No?
Stay here.
She's gonna like try and like catch your hand and like try and just kind of connect with you. Stay here. What happened?
You will be ripped apart. You will die. Stay here.
Are they dead?
Possibly. I think there's a lot of confusion because and I think then Pine is starting to feel these mixed feelings of guilt and a not understanding who and.
Anon's gonna like just kind of like catch his face and be like, hey, look, I don't know what happened back there, but you're okay here. I can see you here right now. You have all of your limbs. You're breathing. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
You're standing on the ground. We're both standing on the ground.
Yeah.
In the middle of a forest.
Yeah.
Tell me about that tree over there. What does that tree have on it?
Bark.
Yeah. What color's the bark? What very specific color is that piece of bark over there?
Probably would be polished into mahogany.
Mahogany.
Look appearance wise.
Yeah. It's got that nice deep red tone, right?
Yeah.
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 I think Pine jitters, but Pine's not moving anymore further away, correct? Okay.
Hey.
There's one wolf.
Yeah.
I did not see a child.
Okay. One wolf. Good job. You know, you're looking like you have some color. Yeah. Can you tell me, I don't know. You're looking better, buddy. I was trying to think of something specific for you to tell me, but you're looking calmer. All right. Look.
It's been a long time since I felt that way on the battlefield.
I felt that too. It's terrifying. We can talk about it a little bit more later.
Yes. If there is a child, lift them away.
I will.
And the admiral's there. Where's
The Admiral?
the small one?
Oh, right. You're calling him the Admiral. The small one? I'm not
Dale.
sure.
Where's Dale?
Well,
Where's Dale?
I saw Dale's horse. Jade has Dale's horse, so I presume Dale headed this direction.
Dale's in there?
Yes. Do you want to go back with me? But
Yes.
are you all right? I assume at this point,
I'd like
he
I
stopped
think-
talking.
And at that moment, we cut back to this wolf pulling back, snarling. We see its white teeth and bloody jaws as it lunges at you, Oz.
Don't.
And it's gonna go just straight for your throat. I need you to make a speed defense.
Nom nom nom.
Speed defense. Cool. 11.
11?
Yes.
It tears into you. You feel its teeth sink into your shoulder and rip through as you take 6 points of damage. As it snarls, and now your blood is also dripping from its mouth, and a small piece of blue silken green cloth is torn away.
No.
Not your peninsula.
No. It's an archipelago now.
Jade.
Okay. So Jade is going to. How far am I from the sage
You're-
and the campfire and all that good stuff?
You're at the camp. Like
Okay.
you've got to probably tie up the horses now. Is this
Yeah.
turn if that's what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. You tie up the horse and just like the sage just kind of looks at you like, have fun in there.
I think Cetus hasn't moved. He's still
Nope,
just
Cetus
like,
is still in the same spot, and the sage is like,
Is that all I'm doing this turn?
yeah. I think to
Okay.
tie up 6 horses, it'll
Yeah.
probably be your whole
No, I
time.
want to secure them good.
Yeah. Pine.
I think I've calmed down. Can I go back in?
Yep.
Okay. I would like
It was
to.
only for it was for your turn. And your turn is over, and also you had a narrative reason to no longer be afraid.
I would like to. Oh my goodness! I don't think I've ever done this. I would like to use fleet of foot. And then once there, it will be short range.
Yes.
Can I throw something at it?
A glaive.
Yeah, you have a glaive.
Or you can throw Dale.
It's
You
just
have a Dale? If you have a glaive, I think,
like.
Don't kick the
yes,
tail.
but you can throw it. You just won't have your weapon in your hand. Like, you'll have to go up and get your weapon. Like, that's...
Is it reasonable that I have a knife on me somewhere that I could throw?
Yes.
Can I throw my knife?
Yeah, that'll
Okay.
say that's a light weapon, though.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I was like, I feel like the number one rule on the battlefield, as much as Claudia hates it, is don't throw your glaive.
Or your
Probably
friend.
don't throw your main weapon. Hey, throw your friend instead.
Sometimes
Okay.
that's a really important.
And you
useful
recently
thing.
gained a new skill,
I
right?
did.
Yeah, so you are now...
I am now. Oh no, I am. Now that I am third tier, I am trained in heavy bladed weapons.
And you're also specialized in running.
No,
did you not do that?
Nope, I took instead. Oh no, I took instead the. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I was like, do this. It'll be really good for you because now your running check automatically
It's clear.
succeeds. You never have to roll it.
I was like, I didn't adjust that to my Slade's Dragon.
Run.
So I can run just
So
So
easily.
you automatically
Yeah.
succeed because it drops it down by 2 levels to
Yeah.
0, so you don't have to roll it.
Don't even have to pay anything.
And you don't have to pay for anything. So you run into that short range. You're now in short range. You pull out your knife, and this isn't heavy bladed. This
No.
is, but it is a light weapon.
And
so
I'm practiced in light weapons.
so it makes it one step easier.
Great, I'm gonna need that one step.
Any effort?
No, I'm going big. This dice has rolled 2 ones in a row. What is it gonna do next?
I hope it rolls a 1.
6.
You miss.
Forever run. I wanna be.
Just
Does it land?
I think as you're like as it's biting into you, just hear thunk, and a knife lands into the tree next to you, Oz.
Oh no, it's next to you.
it
Oh, I
could've
can't
gotten-
shatter it.
that was
Ah, yeah, I'll
bad.
take it. Wow.
Damn.
Oh goodness. Exception! I know it won't do anything but hurt, hopefully.
All right, roll it. So this makes it one step easier for you because it's a mental ability.
Yes.
So you just go.
It's a mental revision.
Alright, so
Basically,
then
any
what,
revision that uses intellect.
what number are we
points.
aiming for this? Is this a difficult?
Y'all haven't figured it out yet.
Dang it, okay. I will just go ahead and shoot without any extra pointsies.
All right.
Oh, well, no, I'll apply 2 levels of effort.
Okay.
I mean, it has taken some.
Yeah, it has, what is it? I gotta do math. 11 minus 3. Nah. Yes. Okay. Put up.
We got the best rolls in the house.
Use that EXP.
2.
Oh, wait, but yeah, I could. Ooh.
Or you could level up.
I already did level up.
JK.
I already leveled up. I want to go ahead. No. Yes. No. Yes.
No. Yes.
Reroll, but I'm not going to add any extra thingies.
Okay.
When hit the wolf.
Hit the wall.
Natural 20!
There you go. It's too bad you didn't put the effort in. You would have gotten it back.
Well, there's no need.
It's
Or-
okay. You wouldn't have needed it, but you know.
21.
Yeah.
So with pichkum, you think about it. You have a moment. I will say, for a natural 20 has the sound. The exception works as a normal exception, even though it is from this recursion.
Oh,
So
you
you
know
get
with
the
the
stun
natural
effect.
20?
Because of the natural 20.
Oh.
I like that.
You get to pick. You either get a major effect or extra 4 points of extra damage. So I checked. It's either
Oh,
or.
for one attacks.
Yeah, when it's an attack, you get to pick one. You don't get both. So do you want to deal extra 4 points of damage, or do you want to have it be stunned for a round?
Stun for a round.
Okay. So you deal your regular 4 points, and it is now stunned. Bad dog. Is that what you just pointed
Bad
at?
dog.
Say bad dog.
Yeah.
Oz.
Um,
It's stunned, but it is on top of you.
I will do. Get an extra point from it being stunned. I can do that. Or
Or?
The knife is right next to me, right?
You could, yeah, I'd let you take it out.
Can I do a take out, ignite, stab?
Or is igniting an action?
That would be really cool, though.
So it shouldn't. I'm assuming it's not an action, but if it says action, then no, you cannot do both.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I wish I had the thing. Oh, there's a
Oh, hey, here you
Can
go.
you see the thing?
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
was just
Sorry.
reading other things
Thank you.
about things for decision making things. Nothing.
Secret thing. Secret
Mm-hmm.
Secret things.
Hello, Raiders. I love Buff.
Different wolf.
How are you doing?
Enabler. For
It's
weapon.
an enabler? Cool. Then you, yes. Then
Yes.
you can grab it, set it on fire, and stab it all in one action.
And apply the pierce. And then I'm going to use the effort too. That was the effort.
It's already one step easier, and you're putting in 3 levels of effort.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then the extra speed point for 1 point.
It is a
extra
light
damage.
weapon.
And then the fire, so 2 points of extra damage, 1 being fire damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna go straight for the eye.
Ooh.
Very red god of you.
I only go for the eyes when they ask.
20 or 1.
Natural 20.
Okay. Yeah, no, that reaction is only one or the other. So with that, you get all of your effort back.
Yes.
That's nice.
And do you want to take the extra 4 points of damage, or do you want a major effect?
I kind of want to. I mean, then
He
it can
is
smell,
stunned.
and it has a good
stunned.
sniffer. I'll do the damage.
Okay, so
I'll do the-
you
yeah.
just tear into its eye, like you rip it out. It's bleeding, like its face is still fixed into a snarl.
And
so
I
it was
whisper
2 for a
into
light
its-
weapon, plus 2 damage, plus the extra 4, so 8 total.
And I whisper into its ear, not by the hair on my chinny chin chin.
Different wolf.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to assume that you all knew each other. I'm so sorry. I just thought you were
Young girls.
What? Oh, that no! Whoa, hold on.
Oh no.
I can get behind getting rid of pigs, but how's it going over there, Lauren? Your characters, the NPCs today are pretty
Pretty scary.
scary characters.
It's actually more into the color red.
The one time I don't wear red.
What would you like to do?
You are
How beat up is he looking?
you're at long range right now, so you cannot
can't
see
tell.
the wolf. You need to move into short range to be able to see him.
I'm just
I
gonna
can
double
work
check
at
this
long
one thing
range,
because I
long
think
range.
Like, I'll let you try to do something at long range, but it'll be harder. Like, it'll be 2 steps harder.
Because there's trees.
okay.
Ooh, I wonder if it's
there's
easier
trees
for me to shoot.
Well, I
him
mean, what if
I'm
it's
in
something that
the
doesn't
big
use my
tiny person?
voice, or what if it just uses my voice and it doesn't need me to be able to see him?
I'm not. If I just dive in before the team.
I will say it'll only be 1 step harder at this
Stab,
distance.
stab, stab.
Okay.
Does it work at long range, though? That's the question. The
I didn't
ability.
say anything
It didn't
about
say
range.
anything. It
Yeah,
just
I
needs to be able to
double
hear
checked.
you,
Yeah.
presumably.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll say from here it'll be 1 step harder, because you're going to have to yell real loud.
real loud. Okay.
Just fighting and yelling and snarling, but yes, you could do it.
I could also do force at a distance, or plasma arc. I think I'm gonna do the plasma arc instead.
Okay. You could also move up 1 closer to negate,
To get closer.
to get closer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just move again.
Okay. Yep. The wolf is stunned. Seems to like sort of be coming to a little bit, but we're not up at Dale's turn yet. Jade.
So Jade kind of saunters up to Rowan, and I think he gets the impression that she's like not close enough to be in range.
Sort of intentionally almost ignoring you.
Yeah. And then she just kind of like moves very quickly and grabs him by the throat.
And then turn order. What did you roll? You had, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think you were up here.
And she says, tell me about my son. Harper Atwood, or I'll break your neck.
Okay. I'll have to come around to his turn as he thinks about this as you're holding
Yeah.
on to him.
Oh, she'll wait.
I've got to figure
And
out what
she'll
he knows about
squeeze.
your son. Okay. Cool. Oh, I think actually he's right after you. So as you kind of hold on to him and he kind of looks at you, it's like, Harper, one, why do you think I give a shit about your son? Did you ever tell Dante? Let's throw him to the ground.
What do you know about Harper?
I know.
Have you seen him?
So he is Dante's son. Oh, I just knew the king had an illegitimate child with a visitor, and I guessed it was you after that little thing in the throne room.
Well, that's about to be probably a very open secret. I want to know if you ever cross paths with Harper.
I tried to avoid most people from the estate. I met him once. Didn't spend a lot of time around him. He seemed like he wanted to get in trouble. He liked being in trouble in a way that I don't.
Well, that's true.
But I think some people from the September Project might be after him.
Great. He's not exactly on the estate's good list right now.
No, I heard some things about. Well, it sounded like he had a criminal record on Earth, and I think he has a reputation.
Yeah. He was seen on Arden, I don't know, 9 months ago, and that's it.
Yeah, I ran into him in some backwater recursion. He was trafficking ciphers.
Yeah.
I picked up a couple from him.
Excuse me, sorry.
Nothing exciting. He didn't even have good ciphers.
Of course not. If he was smart, he wouldn't be caught as much as he is, or has been.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of weird he hasn't
Clearly,
popped
he
up.
didn't take after either of his parents.
Still might snap your neck.
I'm sure you will try.
I didn't sign a contract, you know.
I know.
Tempted to see how good you are, or how bad you are.
I'm not a fighter.
Well,
I
that
never
takes
have
it.
been.
I thought to be the sage you had to at least, I don't know, chop wood, carry water.
I just needed to tell them what they wanted to hear. That's all I ever do.
How can you lead fighters if you don't fight?
Most generals don't.
Right. Makes it easier to use them as fodder when you don't actually care about them and you don't actually operate on the same level.
No, I definitely am above them.
You're below them. Are you gonna give me any trouble?
It depends on how you define trouble.
You do anything out of line, I will kill you. And I'm not even gonna worry myself about it.
All right.
Also, I want you to release Pine. Say you're not a fighter. I know you're a talker. I know you can convince people whatever they want to hear. She can't let go of you yet. He can't let go of you yet. And he needs to.
I know you didn't sign a contract, and I'm sure you don't like deals. But how about a proposition?
What's that? I know what a proposition is. What's your proposition?
I will make sure Pine views me the way all of you view me. He can hate my guts. He can want me gone. He can understand that I can't save Zanzut, and I never intended to because I never could. That's why I left. But then you'll leave me alone. I'll fulfill the terms of my contract to the best of my ability, and then I'll leave, and you'll leave me alone. And you'll make sure that your little friend Anon doesn't come and rip my guts out in my sleep.
Oh.
And whoever else.
That's a hard part for me to enforce. I can't keep an eye on Anon all the time. So later down the road, if she comes after you, I can't do anything about that.
Well, I'd hate to have to put a head out on her. Get someone after her.
All right. I'll do my best with Anon, but
And I'll break Pine's heart.
deal.
He spits on his
Maybe
hand
the other hand.
and shakes yours. All right, cool. That all happened. We'll take that out of initiative. Pine, back at the wolf. Actually, I think that's where we'll pause.
Are you sure I shouldn't do my turn?
Yeah, actually, you're right at the end of initiative, so let me have you do yours, and then we'll start up at the top. And
I'm gonna stab him. Well, I'm gonna do my
You wanna-
my run. I'm gonna do my dash.
Cool.
Already
You wanna
did it.
dash and stab?
Congratulations. It's stunned. I am practiced with weapons. I have an ability in heavy bladed weapons. Can practicing with weapons stack? Because I have it from my vectorness and I have it from my.
no, practice
Yeah,
doesn't stack.
cool.
It's not a skill.
I have heavy bladed. I have. So it means I get my +1 to my heavy.
Mhm.
I'm going to spend 2 levels of effort with might. So I have a total of 3 levels. And it's stunned, so 4.
Yep.
I want to stab him.
Okay.
In the other eye.
Stab, stab.
4.
Oh, I thought it would help.
I might-
me.
We
Really,
only
I
have 4
might-
levels.
I have 4 levels. I never thought I'd need more than 4 levels on something.
With a 4,
A second. Yeah.
you miss. As you charge in, reinvigorated, prepare to, and you miss.
That's unfortunate.
And that's where we'll end today's episode.
But a new fighter has joined the fray. What will happen next to our party? Join us next time on Dragon Ball.
Worlds beyond.
Dragon Ball Z.
People are terrible.
Rolls are bad.
Yeah, I have to agree
Except
with
for
Chat,
mine.
and I'll break Pine's heart. It was a really chilling line.
Yep.
It's really lovely, really chilling. Good luck convincing
You know what? Here's the thing, though. In his mind, it's your fault that he's breaking Pine's heart.
Of course it is, because that's who he is. That's
It's
why
not his
Anon.
fault. It's your fault. You told him to do it.
Of course. I'm sure he thinks that.
gonna be fine.
No, it's not Pine.
mean-
oh my god. I mean,
Jade
it
is not acting like, like she's not exactly making good decisions here.
It's all right. It's
Yeah,
all right.
because we're all making real good decisions and all
Real
of the things we do.
Only good decisions.
Only good decisions.
All the good decisions
Oh, I should
that
have.
we made while we're fighting this big bad wolf.
One for the belly instead of the eye.
Oh.
No, but
Just
then
like
you
cut the little
could've-
girl out, right?
Yeah. Well, but there's a puddle of blood.
We actually don't know. We've never seen the little
We
girl.
haven't seen
I
the
mean,
little
it could
girl
be
yet.
my
Never
blood.
seen the little girl. You don't know. Did he eat the little girl?
Did he
But
just
we
They
just
swallow
cut
them
his-
whole.
She pops out if we. There's probably a grandma in there too.
It's pretty, yeah. yeah.
Ooh.
Nope. Well,
And
wait.
then you get to stay at Grandma's house.
Over the woods.
But
That's not how
not
that
if
song
you all
goes.
get eaten.
Or
All
grandma
right.
happens to be Baba Yaga.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you never know. You rolled a 3 on your navigation, and the woods look like the safest route to the mountain.
Think of it this way: if I didn't roll a 3, then that girl wouldn't have a chance at all.
Yeah, she'd be dead.
She'd be dead. Sometimes mistakes are good things.
Carrying navigation.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us.
I wish
this
I had a
evening.
silver bucket.
We We will. There's so many beautiful options, and you don't know is the answer. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight for another episode of Worlds Beyond. I actually didn't check to see. We have another donation. Yay! This one is from. It's reloading. Give me a second.
We're seeing the first face. We also got a raid from Scrap Fest.
Thank you.
Thank you for the
Very
raid.
nice.
That's why we're
Also,
whispering.
hello.
Thank you and hello, Raiders.
I saw that and I was like, oh, that's a good way to do it. Just
Candy comes out. Horsey McHorseface,
What?
Orson Welles, Horseradish, Al Capone, Pony Danza, Pony Soprano, Britney
Pony
Spears, Usain Colt, Mule Briner, Harry Trotter,
Mule Brenner.
Mule Brenner.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Keep going. I love this.
You got
Hermione. Name those horses. At least give it a hoof-hearted attempt.
Aww.
We didn't name our horses. That's a good point.
You didn't name
We
your
just
horses.
said they were at level 2.
Yeah, just has
and they had
mange.
mange.
mine has
Mine's thing was Mary Sanders of the Detroit Lions.
I'm like trying to figure out what Anon's horse would be named.
I think Pine's horse is named Horse. Like, I think, like,
Yeah, horse.
Pine loves horses, but, like, it is a horse.
Wait, is this Pine? This is Pine's first time seeing like a real horse?
No, Pine used to ride horses all the time
They're his
in
fave.
Chernog.
But like this kind of horse. This is your first type of horse like this that looks like a finger. That's all horses are. They're just fingers.
Leave forever.
With the nails
Thank
on the
you
feet.
so much, everybody,
Yeah,
for
that's-
joining us. The cast are now going to tell you where else you can find them upon the interwebs. As some quick reminders, this Saturday we have another episode of Night Witches at 3 p.m. We also have, there's currently a Kickstarter running for, if you like Cypher System, Monty Cook Games, the people who wrote it, are running a Kickstarter for some new Numenera content, so you can get a hold of some sweet new things that are also compatible with any version of Cypher System that you are currently using. So check that out with our Kickstarter link that is in the chat now. Consider contributing to their Kickstarter and back in that sweet, sweet content. So with that, where can you find this lovely human, and then we'll go around.
Hello. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter and now Instagram because apparently Instagram's back up. And anyway, buckets.
Oh shoot.
Is it? I gotta see if there's my picture with the lights.
I got a
check
like on
my
a picture
thirst
recently.
traps.
Oh, but it's the Shell Game. I'm the Shell Game, spelled SCHELL on Instagram. Okay, I'm done. For reals this time.
What's up, Internet? It's me, Nathan Kiss, aka What Is Kiss. You can find me here at Geek Space TV for Worlds Beyond and other fun games. You can also find me at Zombie Orpheus Entertainment for other fun games and fun stuff. You can even check me out on Twitter, Instagram, or the likes under What Is Kiss. And you can join me for my live stream on March 29th. I am actually doing a live dungeon crawl with some coworkers of mine from my school. We're going to be playing the Dungeons and Dragons 5e.
Yes, the Dungeons.
The Dungeons and Dragons, and we're playing preschool rules. Dungeons and Dragons.
Is that where you make it up as you go along?
So like
that-
keep your hands
isn't
to
that what we
yourself,
do?
sort of.
Sharing is caring.
No,
the talking stick.
the session will be done as classes. Will just be different subjects of teaching. And the entire game we have
So
we have
if you
20
question,
goblins.
is this real?
Huh?
Is this real?
It's real though.
Because
I
you've
like
lied
it.
to us before, and I've wanted those things.
Wait,
and
was
then
the
I was
August
sad.
Wilson RPG not real?
He
We're so excited.
You've broken our heart.
He did.
Hey.
No, guys, he gave us a date.
I went home and told Tony.
If you
And you know what that means.
Tony Beeman, do you want to be my August Wilson show? You got it.
Okay, I want to be in it primarily because I don't know what August Wilson is, and I have lots of ideas for stuff to name.
If you want to see the Magic School Bus horror game, if you want to see the August Wilson RPG, if you want to see White Flight, let me know. Let me know.
Magic School Bus?
Yeah, that's it. These things are ideas that I say, and some people say, "Hey, let's make this happen." I'm like, "All right, let's do it."
Then you destroy our dreams.
Then we're gonna make it happen. The Magic School Bus RPG is gonna go up live on Geek Space TV. When, Anna?
I'm the one in charge of this.
Win, Lauren.
Let's talk after the stream. Who are you?
After the stream.
I'm Jackie Dash. JAKIDASH. So find me on Twitch. I play video games for a very long amount of time. For example, how long have I been playing Odin Sphere? Forever. How long will I play Odin Sphere? Forever. I like this game.
Hello, my name is Bonsai Baby. Bonsai Baby on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, you can find all random nonsense that I post there. And if you're going to Emerald City Comic Con, please look for a Super Mario Samurai. I will be looking very. This is real. This is like based off realistic armor, which I found out is super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because I decided, you know what I want to do? Make it realistic. And it's not flattering, but man, am I gonna look cool
Yes. All the time.
all the time.
Right now? Cool.
You're not gonna feel cool though. You're gonna feel
No,
real
I'm
toasty
gonna
warm.
very toasty warm. So I am gonna call you out on the Capri Suns. I'm
Yeah.
gonna message you, be like, roll me some Capri.
Let me know. I'll be hanging
But
up.
also, because I only have this minimal arm movement and I only can see this much, so
It's just Capri Sun's landing.
so if you do find me, just tap me on the shoulder because odds are I can't hear you or see you because my movement is literally going to be like this.
I got
That sounds like me with Cassandra's armor.
I got
Yeah.
12 yards of webbing that I'm gonna drop stuff out from a window. I'm gonna sit outside the windowsill.
More lies. More lies.
I will show you the Instagrams I took before I came here, but couldn't upload because Instagram was down.
It was the
Instagram.
word.
I
Did
like
you,
Oh.
did you get the ones I sent, y'all?
Oh yeah, no, totally. No.
Okay, cool.
What?
I like the ending of our show, which is just lies and flattery.
Yeah.
Welcome to Lies and Flattery.
What's your lie or flatter?
It's my RPG.
Janine at Admiral Asma on Twitter. So Emerald City Comic Con is this weekend. My troupe, Where No Man Has Gone Before, is performing at Comic Con on Sunday at 2:45 in WSCC 611.
If you need help finding it, our convention center's a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And you can't use the internet to find out where it is because it's a dead zone.
Anyway, I think I know which room that is, so I'll help you.
Yeah, it's the big
Come find
one.
me.
It would be so.
But if you can't make that and you're in Seattle, we have 2 shows at Unexpected Productions, Friday and Saturday at 8:30. And then there's a couple shows. So randomly, in another show in April, I'm playing Stan the Man Lee for a show called House of Ink. And so I'm going to try to make it down to Comic-Con as Stan Lee. We will see. If I make it, I will be photobombing as many people as I possibly can just to be in the background of their photos.
When
It's
Saw
really good
your-
makeup, guys.
It's
really
so
good.
cool. Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I have been your GM Random Tuesday. I will also be at Emerald City Comic Con. I will be a Spider-Gwen. I will also be toasty warm, but I will have a lot more mobility than you. I'm sorry. I'm wearing spandex.
It's true.
So yeah, come say hi. I'll be there Friday and Saturday, and then you can find me here next week or on the internet as Random Tuesday. Y'all are great. Have an amazing day, night cycle. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.